seen Patrick Mahomes respond and recover and play under circumstances that nobody thought was human. And so he has that human side of him, or that unhuman side of him, which makes us all believe he's like a machine. He's a robot. He's going to go out there. We have absolutely seen that from Patrick Mahomes. We have not seen that out of Bo Nix. And so I think there probably is a little pause for a lot of people, but there isn't a lot of pause for Patrick Mahomes coming off a shredded ACL because, we have seen this before. We know he's going to be okay. So that was kind of the dust settling yesterday on that first game of the season for the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. And then we roll into getting the news yesterday that UMKC officially, as we've been telling you for the last 2 months or so, they're going back now to Municipal Auditorium. It is official. The renderings that they put out there, the pictures that they threw out yesterday on X and social media were flat out awesome. It looked great of what they plan to do down there. And I think for me, for my sake, this is one of the coolest things that we've had happen in sports, is getting that team back to Municipal Auditorium. And I remember back in the days when UMKC was having some fun, right? And Michael Watson was playing and Coach Z was coaching, and people were behind this team. They were beating Missouri. They were beating Kansas State. Municipal Auditorium was a place to be. You felt like you had FOMO if you weren't going down there. And that's what they're trying to create now. Now with Turge on board, you got some, local kids being part of this thing as well. This is a great move for UMKC and can really be a team that we all kind of rally around and root for, because it's Kansas City. I mean, my God, it's our town. It's not KU, it's not MU, it's not K-State, Iowa State, any of the, the schools that we all tend to root for around here. This is one that can galvanize the whole city together, and we really haven't had that from UMKC in the last 23 years. And so I think this is an exciting time for UMKC. This is an exciting time for sports in Kansas City, and I think by doing this, hiring Turge, really committing to college basketball again, UMKC is going to be a big part of the sports scene going forward in a town that is an unbelievable sports town already. If they have a little bit of success, man, that place is going to be packed. I think it'll be fun to go down there and watch them play basketball.
It'll be awesome, and I've always thought it'd be fun, but I guess I never thought that point. It's a great point by you, because you're right. It's such a great sports city, and UMKC being the city school, we don't have to have gone there or be alumni or even know someone who goes there. We live here, and we love sports. And if they're going to give us something fun to watch, and they got a coach in Mark Turgeon who's going to get these guys and get recruits and coach these guys up to be a great, fun basketball team, hell yeah, we're going to pack out that arena, dude, and support them. So, yeah, Rue up. I'm actually stoked, and that's a good point, because you're right. Like, we will support sports teams here. We just will.
I mean, look at what happened with the Current right away, right? Yep. Selling out. Look at what happened with Sporting KC when they first came on the map. Now, that's not a good example. Now, we sell out. We go to teams. We support our teams. We love our teams. And so I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be good for the city. It's going to be great. And it's really important, I think, now as this college basketball thing continues to evolve and change, and the tournament got expanded now, to continue to focus on Municipal Auditorium and remind people how historical that building really is. I mean, it's hosted more Final Fours, NCAA tournament games. I mean, we are the birthplace of college basketball here in Kansas City, and that arena is so important to tell the history of what this sport is all about. I mean, it's places where Wilt Chamberlain played, for God's sakes. I mean, like, this is a very historic auditorium that needs to have that story told. And I think, with the expansion of the NCAA tournament, I think the one of those rounds should be permanently here in Kansas City, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're permanently in Dayton, Ohio. They should permanently make one of those opening rounds here in Kansas City, and those games should be played at Municipal Auditorium, not at the T-Mobile Center. And the reason I say that is because you could incorporate the history, give somebody something different and unique. Yeah, they don't have the best locker rooms and stuff like that, but who cares? It's a win and in type of tournament in probably the most historic venue for college basketball that is available on planet Earth right now. And so I think we should do something like that. So there's part of me that's like, hey, if UMKC starts to win, we start to generate some buzz, everybody's packing out Municipal, maybe that becomes the place where you do Dayton on Tuesday and you do Kansas City on Wednesday, and then you start your tournament Thursday and Friday. I think it would be really cool to have one round of the playing games here every single year because of the history that we do have with the NCAA being here, with the Final Fours being here, the birthplace of college basketball, the College Basketball Hall of Fame, the college coaches are headquartered here. Like, there's so much here that screams we should have one of those opening round games. And I think if UMKC can pull it off and become a real player in all of this, then yeah, we can probably take that to the next level and start using Municipal Auditorium for really cool things like that. At least that's my dream, right?
Yeah, of course.
A kid can dream
and
do those things, and I'm probably hearing Kathy Nelson go, Bob, please stop making me bid on all this stuff, okay? We have the Final Four coming. We have the Super Bowl coming. We have the World Cup coming. We have the draft already here. Bob, please. Kathy, I'm sorry, but we're just going to continue to push the envelope forward.
Ramp it up.
Because you're damn good at what you do, and nobody's better in the country at their job than what Kathy Nelson does here in Kansas City. Love you, Kathy. Anyway, so this year we've partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. At KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced neurology team, you see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. Got 2 last night. El Capitan went deep, and so did Bobby Witt. We'll tell you the result of the game next.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr.
As you prepare for your Memorial Day gathering, be sure to visit your local grocery store for Gates sauces and seasonings. Both are great on meats, fish, chicken, broccoli, spinach, hot buttered popcorn, and as a topping for your dips, or sprinkle Gates seasoning on chips and nuts for that extra flavor pop. Also, be sure to pick up a Gates party tray for celebration at the station. However you plan to celebrate, be sure to head to Gates Barbecue this Memorial Day. Gates Barbecue. Thanks with love.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control make my day so much easier because I know the lawn is one thing I don't have to worry about. And we're all busy, right? We all got things going on. It's the end of the school year for a lot of us. We're dealing with all of that. We're dealing with just summer getting here, and you've got your plans. You don't want to have to worry about your yard. That's why we turned ours over to the college-educated professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control because we know they're going to take care of everything, and it's one less thing that we have to worry about. And we hired them last year when we looked at our yard and said, nah, we can't do it anymore. This has been a disaster for over a decade now. Let's let the college-educated pros at Aspen take care of business. And they did. We have the best-looking lawn on the block right now, and I absolutely love it. I admire it every single day, and it's because of the great work the folks over at Aspen did. They came out this week. They put the first mosquito dome down as well, and now we can sit outside and not have to worry about mosquitoes or those fleas and ticks for our dog. It's absolutely wonderful. Right now, Aspen's going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Spring is here, and if you're still feeling exhausted with no energy and no sex drive, it may be time to head to the Low T Center. 1 in 4 men has low testosterone, and at the Low T Center, you can book your free testosterone test to see if you qualify for TRT customized to your body by expert providers. Choose self-pay or insurance. You can even have your treatment shipped to your door. Low T Center has got some of the highest quality testosterone, and the providers tailor it to you so you know it's effective. Put the spring back in your step. Head to lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com and book your TRT appointment today.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Hello, this is Jason Gudenkoff with Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas, the home of $50 over factory invoice. Since 1979, our $50 over factory invoice pricing has been saving Kansas City Ford buyers thousands of dollars when buying a new Ford. Our no-hassle $50 over invoice pricing has helped us become the #1 F-150 dealer in the state of Kansas. And now, for the 9th time, the #1 F-150 dealer in the entire Kansas City area. At Lewisburg Ford, we understand that price is important, but it doesn't stop there. There's other factors to this equation: trade allowance, financing, and customer satisfaction. We don't just say that we're great at taking care of customers, we actually do it. Ford Motor Company has awarded us with the President's Award 23 times. This is the top honor that they give their Ford dealers for customer satisfaction in sales and in service. So if you're in the market for a new Ford, come see us at Lewisburg Ford. You can reach us at 816-444-2300 or on the web at lewisburgford.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
By Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Grandview 49 southbound before Harry S. Truman with an accident. Only the left shoulder getting by. Delays very heavy from Longview Road. Replacing your HVAC doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. When you plan ahead, you get more options, better scheduling, and less stress. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rolling through a Wednesday here. Fescoe and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan. Dusty out, Mac in. And so we are here on a Wednesday. We talk about all sorts of, like, bad ways to die, Mac. You saw that dude the other day get blasted by a 787 on the runway. That's not a good way to go, right?
No.
Probably not the best. I don't know if you saw this story yesterday. Carnival cruise guest, 88, dies after driving mobility scooter off the pier in the Bahamas.
What? How's that even possible?
Imagine being on one of the mobility scooters and riding to your death into the Caribbean Sea down in the Bahamas at 80. I mean, that's a terrible way to go,
That
right?
is awful. Because that you have enough time to realize.
Well, I would think you're not moving very fast on one of those things, right?
So you know, okay, I'm about it. I can't control it.
What do you do when that's you probably, I mean, you're 88 years old. I mean, you're not rolling off that thing. Nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to get in the way. Nobody's going to try to help. I mean, like, again, you're not moving fast. We've all seen the mobility scooters on, like, the Family Guy episode, right? They're moving very slow.
Yeah.
And so you've seen the mobility scooters out there. They don't move fast. How did this happen?
Yeah, and how is there a portion of the boat that you can just roll out
No,
on?
it was on the pier.
Oh,
but
you're
even
on the
still,
pier.
But
yeah.
even still, you're on the pier. Like, that should be kind of a protected
There
area
should
where
still be rails or something.
Right, you would think. Yeah, so 88 years old. I mean, do you hang on and let the thing just bring you to the bottom of the ocean? Did they go down there and get it? It's clear. You could see.
You could. Yeah, that's crazy.
Nobody run in and rescue this person? Like, I imagine you're standing around the dock. A lot of people probably just stand there scratching their ass, right? Like, oh, Granny went in. You better go get Grandma. Where is she? She just rolled into the ocean on her mobility scooter.
Betsy, come back.
Yeah, come on. Betty! Where are you?
Yeah, no, there's no good way to die, but that is certainly
I mean,
a
in
bad
your
one.
sleep and you don't know it isn't a
That's
horrible
fair.
way.
That's fair.
You're dead, but
That's
I mean,
true.
you didn't know.
You don't know.
You were asleep. You just went.
Go to
That's the way
sleep.
to go. Not drowning or getting blasted by a 787 on Denver's runway. At least it could have been a United jet, Frontier. I mean,
It wasn't Spirit Airlines.
no, it definitely wasn't. No, we definitely know that. So yesterday I had lunch with my first mentor, Mike McKenzie, and we went to a lovely place called Maloney's in downtown Overland Park, right?
Jealous.
Had myself a nice little salad. He had the bowl of chili. His daughter, Kim, showed up. She had the bowl of chili. Apparently, the chili is off the charts at Maloney's.
Okay, good to know.
Phenomenal. We got to have the chili. He's had it 2 days in a row. I said, oh, you've been here before. Okay, cool. So we're sitting there, and Mike worked in media all over the country. He worked for Sports Illustrated, worked for the Kansas City Star. He was doing Royals pre- and post-game. That's how I came his intern. And I was in college, and he was doing like Royals pre- and post-game on the weekends. And so I would come in here, cut the tape, do all that kind of stuff. And, we just kind of formed a relationship over the years, have kept in touch. He's worked in some, collegiate sports and all that kind of stuff, but a very, very impactful person in my life. And we were sitting around yesterday, and he was regaling me with all of these great sports stories, to which I said, Mike, we got to do a podcast at some point. I mean, he's telling me about his, interactions with Will Chamberlain, and one of the coolest stories he told me, and I thought of Mac, and I thought, man, Mac would have loved to have heard this story. Watching Julius Erving and Pete Maravich play for 2 weeks on the same basketball team before the ABA ruled it was an illegal trade or something, and they had to send Dr. J back to the ABA, or however it played out back in those days. He goes, I got to watch these guys at practice for 2 weeks against each other, like Dr. J and Pete Maravich. I know for all the young heads, you're like, who are those two guys? Two of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? It would be epic. It would be like, I don't even know what the comparison would be right now, like having Wemby and LeBron on the same team for 2 weeks, or I don't even know, like the two best players in the league, are like
savants.
Just say like
basketball
LeBron
savants.
and Jordan on the court at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And watching those two guys play, but Pete Maravich and Dr. J on the same team. I mean, and then the league was like, all right, this is illegal. Dr. J has to go back to the Virginia team that he was on, like the Virginian Commonwealth or something like that, of the old ABA. I don't even know what their name was, but for some reason that sounded good. So he went back, and so we were just telling all these stories, and it was great. It was so much fun to catch up, and he dropped this trivia question on me, and I want to ask the trivia question to the audience to see if anybody happens to know this. And I'll put the trivia question out there. We'll talk about something else, and then we'll get back to the trivia question back, because I want to see if our audience can figure this one out. You know the answer, so you do not need to.
It's a good way to do this. Yes, let's have them guess.
Yeah, let's have them guess,
I agree.
and then we'll talk a little bit about something else, and then we'll move back to this, because I want to see if people know, because I knew right away, and I'm terrible at trivia, but I just put two and two together. I'm like, it has to be this. Who was Bill Self's most famous teammate?
There you go.
Do you know who Bill Self's most famous teammate was? So you can text in Jay's Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Text in if you know who Bill Self's most famous teammate was. We'll give you a couple of minutes. Text in, see if anybody knows. We'll come back to this. I want to give the folks on the text line an opportunity to see if they have an answer. And Mac, if somebody does come in with the answer, please let me know right away, because I think it's a great topic and a great conversation, to have. And so we were talking about all kinds of things, and then Darren Peterson comes up in conversation, and we're talking about Darren Peterson. And again, this is my friend Mike, mid-'80s. Dr. J's covered. Pete Maravich he's covered. Everybody, right? He's seen everybody play.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about Darren Peterson. And I said to him, I think he's the best player that I've seen at KU. And I said, I go back to 1995, right, with Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce was the best that I'd ever seen at KU. I'm a little biased. We were in school together. It's my age and all that kind of stuff, right? Like freshman. Yeah. He was phenomenal, obviously. But this Darren Peterson was special. And Mike looked at me and he goes, there was a guy named Will. I go, yes. I said, but before me. He goes, oh, no, that's fair. He goes, yeah. He goes, this guy is unbelievable, right? And yesterday, I'm scrolling through X or doing whatever, and there's like a minute-long video of Darren Peterson just popping, I guess you could say, raw three-point shots, right? Get the ball, shoot, get the ball, shoot, get the ball, shoot, right? Just around the arc.
19 for 25,
I was going to say, I thought it was 19 24, 19 25, whatever it was. It was some of the most impressive stuff that I watched. And I'm watching this kid shoot, and I'm watching him drain shot after shot after shot after shot. And I just keep coming back to this. And I know it could be hyperbolic in the moment, but he's just a pure player. That's the only way I can describe Darren Peterson. When he is on and he is in the zone and he is doing his thing, there wasn't a better player in college basketball this year.
Yep.
There was not a better player in college basketball. And I don't even know that it was particularly close, quite honestly, when you talk about the best player in college basketball. And because he was trying to do what he thought was right to get out there and play and with the creatine, we were all kind of robbed of getting the opportunity to see Darren Peterson play. And he'll be down on that list for me of the what-ifs, right? The what-ifs, because Darren Peterson ended up being a what-if at KU. Phenomenal player. We just didn't get enough of him, right?
Yeah.
We just didn't get enough of Darren Peterson.
And sometimes, and by the way, we do have it on the text line.
We do.
We did get it.
A lot, or
we've got it from one person, so we can wait if we want to wait and see if we can keep guessing. Again, we are asking you, who is Bill Self's most famous teammate?
Right.
He's ever had. Bill Self's most famous teammate, and you can just be a part of the Jay Southlento text line, 913-586-7965. We do have it one correct. One correct answer so far. Lots of guesses.
Lots of guesses, I was going to say, right? But only one correct
One
so
correct.
far.
So
wow.
we'll keep that going. Keep guessing, and you know who you are. Maybe you don't, but you did. We do have one correct
What's the
answer.
area code?
913.
All right.
You know who you are. You did get it correct. Maybe you don't, but maybe you do. Yeah, man, Darren Peterson, as far as basketball player, I don't think it is close. You're talking about IQ. You're talking about deep both sides of the ball. The ability not just to score, but to shoot. Because that's the thing. And if you add on the fact that I believe, and as I think many are starting to come to the fact that he was not 100% last year.
No, he wasn't.
He was
No,
hurt.
he was hurt all year.
And you can watch him in high school, which, by the way, a lot of these scouts do watch a lot of these high school tapes. They don't just care about the 30 games. Because that's what it is.
Can't.
It's 30 games.
Yeah.
That's what you're judging these freshmen off of. No, you've got to watch what they've been doing these past few years. And if you watch Darren Peterson in high school, you can watch him against A.J. DeBanza in high school in certain tournaments too. He is that dude, and it is obvious he did not have that burst because of the hamstring issue.
Right.
I believe he should be the number one pick. I've been a Darren Peterson supporter in his quarter since day one. We act like he missed over half the season, and when he did play, averaged 10 points a game on bad efficiency. When in reality, he shot an incredible clip, only missed 11 games, and was the dude when he was on the court, and was the only essence of offense they had for the last three weeks of the season, month of the season. That whole offense cratered, and you could argue as to why that was, whether he was because he was reinserted back into the lineup or whatever may have you. It was bad, and he was their only source. They gave him the ball and said, save us.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and that's why I use the term pure player, because that's what you're watching out there. And so, long story short, to get back to watching him at the Combine yesterday, shooting shot after shot after shot after shot, how does he not go 1-1? I mean, that is a guy that is the purest of pure. Now, I know he's peddling himself as a point guard, and Washington maybe doesn't need a point guard at this point in time. Maybe he's doing that to pedal himself away from Washington.
That could be it, yeah.
You know, at this point in time, maybe you'd rather go 4 or 5 as opposed to having to go to the Washington Wizards. But I think he's the number one guy. And he is by far the number one guy. We were talking about, you mentioned basketball IQ with him. We were having the conversation. He goes, do you remember that play where he was going up to the one side and switched the ball to his other hand? I go, absolutely remember that play.
Yes.
And then the TCU moments where he hit a shot, go on the bench, come off, hit a shot, go back to the bench. Like, I think we spent so much time complaining. Again, this is what we do, though. We spent so much time complaining about why he wasn't playing. We forgot the moments that he did play. And I think now, looking back and watching what Darren Peterson's doing and how good I think he is going to be, I think we're all going to go, damn, we missed it here in Kansas City. We missed that year in Kansas City because we spent so much time complaining about him not being in that. When he did play, we missed how effing good he was.
Yeah, he'd play half a game and have 20 points.
Dominating.
And miss 3 or 4 shots. It was clear when he was on and when he was healthy.
Right.
He was a man amongst boys. And this is an 18-year-old. I mean, he's making passes. He's getting guys on his hip. He's playing at a pace that you just don't see these guys play at. I loved watching him play, and I think he should be the number one pick because you look at the way he was able to score, too, in comparison to A.J. DeBanza or Caleb Wilson. Those guys are 6'9" with 7-foot wingspans playing against college players. And I don't know how often A.J. DeBanza, when he goes in that 12 to 14-foot range and does that little turnaround jumper that he does, like, it was never contested.
Right.
Because he's playing college players. That move is going to have hands in your face. And when we watch Darren Peterson score, he's smothered. It doesn't matter. Double-teamed. He's hitting fadeaway shots. He's hitting that crazy three-pointer against Texas Tech, I believe it was, to win the game. Like, those contested shots are going to be what mimics more closely the NBA. It's not A.J. DeBanza going up against 6'6" centers and hitting turnaround Jays on him.
Yeah. No, I think you're right about that. He's the best player in the draft, and he should go 1-1 overall. All right. Do we get the answer?
We do. We've got it now a few times.
Okay. We've got a few times. So our trivia question was, as I was talking to my mentor, Mike McKenzie, yesterday, he goes, do you know Bill Self's most famous teammate was? And I immediately said Garth Brooks.
There it is.
Right? Garth Brooks, and I just put the Oklahoma State thing together and all of that, and there it was. Bill Self was teammates with Garth Brooks, but not how you think he was teammates with Garth Brooks. They were on the intramural softball team together at Oklahoma State.
Oh, what?
I guess Garth was a track and field athlete down there at Oklahoma State, right?
That's awesome.
And so they knew each other because of sports, and they were all they lived in the same house together, apparently.
That's so cool.
Softball teammates, like, those are the great stories that get you deeper than the surface area of the game that took place last night, right? Like, how cool is that Bill Self was college beer league, if you will, intramural league, however you want to call it, softball league or softball team with Garth Brooks.
That's amazing. Yeah, not basketball. Intramural softball.
Intramural softball. The most successful, arguably, country musician of all time.
Seriously.
And one of the greatest to do whatever he's done in college basketball of all time. And they're playing together like the 80s or 70s or whatever it was, probably the 80s, early 80s, down at Oklahoma State on the same intramural softball team. I wonder if Garth sang the national anthem before that.
Oh, before every game, I'd hope.
And I wonder if they knew if Garth was going to be a good singer, like he would be carooning them all the time. They're like, dude, Troy'll stop, man. Like, you gotta cut this out. We don't need you singing. You're not that good. Oh, man, he was that good.
Yeah. Damn, not bad. Yeah, we've got some guesses here. Bill Russell.
No, Bill Self did not play with Bill Russell.
That's what I figured.
No.
That's way
Bill
too.
Russell.
Yeah, Bill Russell. I'm like, what?
Great guess.
Little age gap.
I love it.
Barry Sanders.
No, he did not play with Barry, but good guess because of Oklahoma State. But
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that would have been
That's
a
why.
really good guess.
Wayman Tisdale. A lot of Wayman Tisdales.
Yeah, because Wayman played at Oklahoma, but I didn't play with Bill Self at Oklahoma State. So.
T. Boone Pickens.
There it is. It's another good one. But no, Garth Brooks is the answer to that question. That's really cool. I never knew that about Bill.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is a very fun trivia question.
Never had heard that story before, and I'm like,
but you
damn.
guessed it right away.
I did because I just put it together. I'm not giving myself credit here. A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while,
Yeah.
Mac. I mean, it's just doing your like, oh, okay, Oklahoma State, they're about the same age. I'm going to go with Garth Brooks.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good guess. Worked.
So, because there are really not many other people you know from Oklahoma State. Barry Sanders obviously being one of them. All right, our poll question today. What do we have?
Well, you know what that means. Poll question on a Wednesday.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
The poll question, which you can find on our Twitter or X page, the Fan965, and it reads as follows. Which AFC conference opponent do you want to see after the Broncos? You get three options: the Bills, the Bengals, or the Chargers.
It's today.
Right now, I just posted it like as I was talking. 3 votes. Bengals got 2 of them.
What do you want?
Not the Chargers, because I want to wait later in the season to face them.
Okay.
Probably the Bengals too. Honestly, I might end up voting for the Bengals. But yeah, the Chargers. I don't know. I'm getting, the more I think about it, the more I'm a little scared of this Chargers team. I don't know. I just think that offense is going to be nasty. I might have some money on a Herbert MVP type season.
Why? Because of the addition of the coach?
Yep. The addition of the coach, I think that offensive line, if they stay healthy, is going to be a top 10 unit, which if you look at last year, they were the worst unit in football. When we talk about the Chargers, when we talk about Justin Herbert, it needs to be stated every other statement that they had the worst offensive line by a good margin in all of football because of the injuries and because of what he was dealing with. Justin Herbert was hit more than any other quarterback last season, and it showed, and he played through injuries, and he was still able to get them into the playoffs. Not to mention, they kind of tried to rebuild that defense a little bit, and hopefully they're better. They were an average at best unit last season. So if they take a step up, all of a sudden, that's a team that I think could win the division. And yeah, I think Mike McDaniel with Justin Herbert and with the offense that they have, again, they're going to have Gadsden. They just got David Njoku, Omarion Hampton, Kamani Vidal in the backfield, and the wide receivers in Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Trey Harris, who most people don't know of, but they drafted him last season. He's going to be their number 2 wide receiver next to Ladd McConkey. They are going to have a deep, well-rounded offense with Justin Herbert at the helm, who I know some people are hot on here in Kansas City, but I believe him to be one of the best talents in the NFL.
And that's exactly why I want to play them early.
Okay.
You know, what you just said there is exactly why I want to play them early, before they figure it out.
With the new coach?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You got a new offensive coordinator, right? It's going to take some time to get adjusted, regardless of how good you are, how good he is, or however you want to phrase it. It takes time because you're forgetting a language and you're learning a new language.
That's a good point.
And it's very hard to do that. That's why these quarterbacks, man, if teams aren't setting them up with the right offensive coordinators when they get into this league, they're SOL, because you're constantly learning a new language, you're learning a new system, and the quarterback has to know everything. For a wide receiver, a running back, a lineman, a tight end, they don't have to know everything. They don't really have to worry about what everybody else is doing. That's why when I was playing in high school back in my day, I always liked offensive line. I was fat, but I didn't have to worry about what anybody else was doing. I knew what I needed to do on that play. The quarterback needs to know what everybody's doing on every single play, right? He's got to know if that guard's pulling. He's got to know if that tackle's blocking down, or if he's blocking to the outside. There's so many different nuances that a quarterback needs to know. That's why when you change offensive coordinators and people scream all the time, fire the OC, get a new OC, you're setting your quarterback back. You're really hindering his progress to move forward when you constantly change the system. We've had the same system in place here for 13 years now, right? That means something. That matters. That is important to have those systems in place. And so when you're dealing with a new coach or a new coordinator and you have a quarterback and players that have been there before, I'm always going to hit the brakes a little bit and let's see how this works. Let's see how they adjust. And that's why I want to face those teams at the beginning of the year, because at the end of the year, I don't disagree with you. I think the Chargers are going to be a pretty damn good team, but I'd rather get them at the beginning of the year where you can punch them in the mouth and they're not quite ready to be that good team yet. So I would go with the Chargers as the next conference opponent that I want to see after the Broncos. I like that Bills game later in the season. It just feels right. You completed about half the season. Each team has had their bye week. You're starting to set up for the postseason. This has playoff implications. I like it later in the season than in week one. Imagine playing the Bills in week one and all that's taken care of, and you're just chasing that all year long. It just doesn't. So I like that as a middle of the season game. And the Bengals, I'd like to play them in September because they stink in September. So give me them at the end of the month. Give me the Broncos. Give me an NFC. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Bengals, and give me that as the first month of the season.
Sign me up. That would be badass. From the 815, when's the Chargers Mac billboard going on? 913 says, great, now we have Chargers Mac. That's from Tyler in St. Louis. Thanks, Tyler.
Way to go, Charger Mac. You and CDOT can do the afternoons together. We'll move Rob in here and he'll tell us how washed we are. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, he's back and he's better than ever. He's Binkley.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed.
Well, that dog. Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I know it's tough to talk about when it comes to low T or erectile dysfunction, or even for myself, weight loss. It's tough. I get it. But sometimes you just have to nip it in the bud and take care of it yourself. Or you can have some help. And where you can get that help is with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. They have an expert staff And if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They also have 3 locations to help serve you. Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So if you need some help and you want some guidance, go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or you can visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Graduation season is the busiest time of the year, and you want it to be perfect, so you need to trust Hy-Vee with your important celebrations like we do. Choose from a wide range of budget-friendly catering options like the classic grill out for just $7 per person or the Hai Chai Asian buffet for just $14 per person. And don't forget the personalized baked goods, flowers, and more. Leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. So sit back and relax. Your perfect graduation party starts at Hy-Vee.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase, 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Tobacco, football and boots. He knows Bobby Bowden. He knows Pete Carroll. He likes the 3-4 defense. He's Jay Binkley. He loves tobacco, football and blues. He knows Bobby Bowden, he knows Pete Carroll. He likes the 3-4 defense, he's Jay Binkley.
All right, it is that time of the week where we talk to our guy, Jay Binkley. He is our football insider. And, Jay, I want to start you with what we have here.
Bob, did you hang up on him?
I did not hang up on him. No. Why? Is the phone? I haven't touched the phone. I don't know how to do it. So
I thought you did.
No,
I know what happens when you touch the phone. Let me call him again.
Yeah. All right. So he's not on the phone anymore. I'm looking at line 7. There he is. He's calling back in. Yeah. I don't touch the phone. Believe me. Yes, you're right. We do know what happens when I touch the phone. And it's not a good situation. So he's back in. He's locked and loaded. He's ready to talk some ball. All right, Jay. I'm gonna start you off with the trivia question. Not the trivia question. Well, no, you know the trivia question, but the poll question. Which conference opponent do you want to see after the Broncos? The Bills, the Chargers, or the Bengals?
You know what? I'll take the Chargers.
Me too.
You know what? The Chargers had the perfect scenario last year, and they blew it. They were 3-0 the first 3 games of the year, all against the division. So they're 3-0 against the AFC West right in the beginning. Then they didn't parlay it into anything else. I'm 100% for tough division opponents. I'm 100% for tough opponents for the Chiefs to begin the year, but especially division opponents. Here's the deal. Andy Reid is 10-3 in the first game of the year with the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. So we know what he is after the bye. He's 33-8 after a bye week in regular season and postseason, 22-5 after the bye just in the regular season. Why wouldn't you want Andy Reid to have the entire summer? That's why I'm so excited about Denver. I wish the game was on the road and not at Arrowhead Stadium, but I love the fact that you play a tough opponent, giving Andy Reid all that kind of rest. But give me the Chargers in week 2. And you know what? It could be a home game because the Chiefs, the Royals are gone in week 2. They're back home in week 3, so maybe they'll give them week 2 as well.
Yeah, and so, Jay, I'm thinking about the schedule, and you mentioned Denver. You'd rather have it on the road. Yeah. I would rather have it on the road. Mac made a great point for why you'd like to have this game at home because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, man. They've earned this over the last decade to have this game at home. But there's just something special about going on the road on Monday night, especially to Denver, in those all whites with a question mark surrounding your quarterback for some people anyway, and going out there and ripping their hearts out and getting that road win on opening night in front of a national audience and showing Patrick Mahomes is back, baby.
Yeah, for all those reasons why, I'm okay with the game. I wish it was in Denver to open the season, but I don't buy into this Denver media hype as the game deserved to be in Denver.
Yeah.
Or Kyle Brandt said, okay, here's the deal. The Chiefs won 9 straight divisions, went to back-to-back Super Bowls, and they opened in Brazil. It goes further back than that. They finally break through, go to the AFC title game in 2018, lose to the Patriots in overtime. The next year, you know what? The Chiefs start off in Jacksonville. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And then in 2021, they lose to the Bengals in the AFC title game after winning the division, and they opened in Arizona. But nothing sets it back to people don't remember that Mahomes' first Super Bowl year, the year before that, they had lost to the Patriots, but yet they still had to open in Jacksonville. So you win 9 straight divisions. They didn't give any favors to the Chiefs. The Broncos deserve nothing. Don't listen to what anybody's saying about the Broncos deserving that home game because unless you win the Super Bowl, you don't deserve anything.
Well, and I think you're not wrong about that. And I think maybe deserving is the wrong topic, wrong word to use in all this. I don't think Denver is any more deserving to host the game. I'm just looking at it from a Chiefs perspective and how awesome a road win would be in week 1, Jay. I think it would be just a spectacular way to give the double bird to the rest of the NFL and go, I'm back.
100%.
I'm with you 100%, Bob. You got to play him anyway. You got to play him at home and on the road. It doesn't matter. But get that road win out of the way. And like I said, Bob, with Andy Reid, so good after bye weeks. I mean, dude's 22-5, 33-8 if you throw in the postseason, but 10-3 with Kansas City. So we know how good Andy Reid is when he has time to prepare. Well, guess what? That game was set. It's locked in. It's going to be the Denver Broncos in week 1. You know what Andy Reid starts working on?
Yesterday.
From May 11th on, the Denver Broncos in week 1. You give him a week, and he does great things. And that's difficult with a 1 week in the NFL to make the adjustments that he does, but he found a way to do it. But you give him the entire summer to have the Denver Broncos top of mind. I'll play anybody in week 1 with Andy Reid. Anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. And yeah, the Broncos think they
I'm
hung
ready
the
to
moon.
go now,
Yeah,
baby.
exactly. Let's go,
I'm out of
Bink.
the studio, man. I'm fired up.
I know that I'm hard.
Jay, all right, 2 quick questions for you. One, breaking news from the 785. Please let Jay know that one of the Hardee's in Topeka opened back up. Your response?
That's awesome. I'm going to Topeka.
Okay, and question.
Road trip, baby.
It was so funny that text comes in because I was sitting at the light in front of the Hardee's at like 104th and Metcalf yesterday, and I looked at it and it's closed. And I just go, that sucks.
That sucks.
All good things come to an end. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either, Bink. But something that doesn't come to the end is this schedule release week, and obviously it's going to be all week. That is the storyline. But Bink, I saw this from some random fan. It's a Bills fan, so take it for what it is. But still, I think he actually had a pretty good idea. This is what he thinks week 1 should be. He thinks week 1 should be 16 AFC versus NFC games because it's too fluky of a week to have divisional games or even conference games because those tiebreakers mean too much. What do you think about that?
No, I'm okay with it being anyway. And listen, it came from a Bills fan, so I got to throw it out. But no, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, the NFL, the way it's scheduled now, I'm good with it. You play anybody, anywhere. I will say this, though, Mac. Like I said, I love the way the Chargers opened up against 3 AFC West teams to begin the year. That sets the tempo of your entire season. You find out so much about your team, and they blew it because they were 3-0 against the division. Obviously, those injuries took place as well. But no, I'm good. AFC, NFC matchups. I understand what they're doing. They're doing it for marketing. Let's get people talking about it. Let's have people talk about, games. I do like the divisional games first, though. I'll be honest with you. I do like the AFC West. I love some of these matchups we're seeing in the NFL.
Yeah, you throw the big matchups out there right away. The week 3 is when they kind of have the little bit of a lull in the season. We all feel it, when they have those games. They like the big games to start the season. It really is a shame, Jay, though, because you are a guy who's such a visionary. I thought you would have had a schedule release show before all these other places that are out there right now.
Yeah, it's funny. You look back at 2015 or whatever it is, you go to the program director and say, hey, can we do a schedule release show after Vern's done with the Royals post game? And so we come on at about 11:30. It's just funny what it's become for the NFL because you know how baseball does it, Bob.
Yeah.
You get that email in the middle of a day just whenever about next year's schedule. They just send an email out that here's next year's schedule, but they make a big deal of it. I enjoy it. I like to see who you're playing with. I understand it's a marketing machine.
It's great.
That's why they're doing it. But here's the deal.
I'm so excited for Thursday night to see the schedule because I'm already starting to plan stuff for the fall. My sister's got an event that I need to go to in New Jersey, and I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, all right, Thursday we'll know what they're doing on that Sunday. Like it sets your whole schedule for the fall.
It does, but we have to remember something. I know that there's going to be a lot of emphasis on week 1. Let's all remember that week 1 is a lie. Because so many things happen, it's a lie. Let's not forget the Raiders beat the Patriots in New England on week 1. The Patriots go to the Super Bowl. The Raiders picked first in the draft.
That's crazy when you think about it that way. What did you think of the Chiefs' Bread Bowl schedule release yesterday with the sourdough?
I think it's funny how many people got worked up about it.
I know.
What the Chiefs doing. They're 100% trolling everybody. And they're not going to release their schedule as bread. They did it because, people talk about the Chiefs' schedule release, and it's been lamer. I don't know why they did it, but they did it to troll people. That's 100% what they're doing. They weren't being serious with those tweets.
Well, no. Well, I don't know, but it was.
You really think so?
It's their highest tweet in a long time. I mean, it's at 4.2 million views right now.
Well, I got everybody talking about it, and they knew that would happen. So that hit the mark.
Yeah.
That hit the mark because they typically put these schedule releases out, like the cash cab they did last year and things like that. They don't have the best schedule releases. We know that.
Yeah.
We know the Chargers are going to have.
I think it's going to be good this year. I think, Vrabel and Rossini
They
should be
play
on
the
everybody's
Patriots.
schedule release this year.
Well, the Patriots play the Chargers, so they're teeing up on this one.
Yeah, no, I think, look, I'm looking forward to what they do. Those guys over there at 65 Toss Power Trap, they do a great job with all of their videos, man.
Yeah.
They give you the goosebumps every time you watch them. So I'm excited for the schedule release. I would like it to be something like some sort of Mahomes revenge tour or something would be really cool.
Please,
I mean,
yes.
just go out there and be the heel of the NFL or however they're going to do it. But I look back at the Bread Bowl thing, and look, it's probably going to get about 5 million views by the time it's all said and done. It's up to 4.2 million. It did. It got a ton of clicks, but I kept looking at it yesterday, and I just laughed more and more. I'm like, oh, my God. This thing is so bad it's funny.
Yes, so bad it's good.
Well, they're so good at everything they do, and the schedule release kind of, falls on deaf ears when they put that schedule release out. But I just thought they were having fun with it. Like, they put that out there, we'll get people talking about it. And
they got
it was a home run because people are talking about it. Where, like, what are the Chiefs doing? Even the Chiefs fans, like, what are we doing here? 100%, I think the Chiefs are trolling.
Yeah, they did it for the clicks, and it worked again. So
They did.
It was outstanding. Way to go. I think it's hysterical. Jay, we'll see you in 2 minutes when you walk in the door.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bink. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys, take care.
That's Jay Binkley with us here on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up, he failed. But will Mahomes fail? We'll discuss that next.
Talk to you later.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
and Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I will tell you, my friends over at CertaPro Painters are saying to you, hey, it is time to act now, because you know what's going to happen? Our 10% sale is going to end, and you want to be able to take advantage of it. You have 2 more days, today, tomorrow, and Friday. I guess that's 2.5 more days, right, if we're counting at home. But you got to get it done by Friday to save 10% off your home painting project from my friends over at CertaPro Painters. They get the job done right, and they do it in an amazing way. Whether it's the outside of your home that's peeling and it needs a freshen up, maybe the inside of your home needs a new color paint on the wall, whatever it is, don't wait any longer. Stop putting off those painting jobs, save money, and use the local folks over at CertaPro Painters, because time is running out. To get 10% off your home painting project, you got to take advantage of it before Friday, May 15th. So stop putting it off and get in touch with Certa right now. Whether it's the interior or exterior, they know how important your home is to you. And each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROMO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and there's only one thing better than Surfside baseball, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonades plus vodka on the golf course. My game is struggling, but my drinking game is not. It is very successful. The golf game, everything's left, everything's right, everything's chunked, everything's missed, but nothing is missed when I have the Surfside cocktails in my hand, and you can enjoy them on the golf course when the weather is getting better. It's light, it's refreshing, and there's no better way to drink a cocktail than on the golf course when it's hot and you need that refreshing cocktail made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting those fairways, hopefully for me eventually, hopefully a lot for you, and cheers to Surfside, the original canned cocktail of the Kansas City Royals and Dusty Likens. Must be 21 years of age, and please drink responsibly.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery, staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed-sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow Service. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Kansas side 70 eastbound. Heavy into the 635 interchange with construction, though it looks to be clearing. Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident, call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all, so be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Alan Corrin, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, we're back at it. It is a gorgeous Wednesday here on 96.5 The Fan. Our thanks to Jay Binkley for joining us this morning. Always good to catch up with Jay, get his take on everything, including the Hardee's now opening back up in Topeka, Kansas. That's good news for everybody involved. So Hardee's has opened back up in Topeka. That's great for Jay. I'm sure he'll be driving out there this afternoon at some point. Got some breaking news from the NFL, another TV news note.
Okay.
The NFL Honors is now going to be on Netflix.
Sweet.
Have you ever watched the NFL Honors?
No, I really don't.
I don't think I have either, really. I've seen highlights on X and gotten clips that way, but I don't think I've ever sat down. I'm not an award show guy.
No, I don't need to. I can get what I need to from a clip.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
from an article. Who won what?
It's
okay,
what killed
great.
late night television, to be honest with you. I mean, when was the last time you stayed up to 10:30, 11:30 on the East Coast to watch the late night shows? When you used to do that with David Letterman and Jay Leno, Johnny Carson back in the day, people would stay up and watch that, at least, for the monologues, but you don't even need to do that anymore. So I think that's a big reason why we're seeing those late night shows kind of go away, because I was just consuming them from now on social media. And I don't know how they're making any money off of that at that point when I'm just watching that, not watching the game. But so that's going on right now. But the other thing about Netflix that I thought was very interesting, I think it was their CEO that spoke yesterday, and Front Office Sports had some interesting information with him, because he goes, we're never bidding for an entire season of games. We don't want that. We just want certain games. We just want special games.
Big
we just
time.
want events.
Yes.
We want moments. And that's what the NFL guys, if Netflix is going to be the big spender in all of this moving forward, Mac, then the NFL is going to continue to create these standalone type games that are moments like the day before Thanksgiving now, your 3 Thanksgiving games, the day after Thanksgiving, right? You're playing, when you look at Christmas week, I think they're playing every day but like a Friday during Christmas week. And I think they're playing every day but Tuesday during Thanksgiving week. And so the NFL is starting to do what Netflix is asking for, and that's starting to create special event games. They're going to keep those international games, I'm sure, special event games that they can sell to somebody else. And so if Netflix is out there telling people that we're not interested in full seasons, but we're interested in events, these sports leagues are going to create events for Netflix. I mean, Major League Baseball's doing it, right? Opening night with the Yankees and the Giants with Burt Kreischer out there floating around on a thing.
And that, but the event was cool.
Right, but that's an event. That's
Yes.
what Netflix wants. And I don't know if you saw this, but the next night of the NBA, tomorrow, I think, both games are on Peacock.
On Friday. Yep.
Or Prime, I'm sorry. Both games are on Prime Video.
Friday.
On Friday. They're both on Prime Video.
Yep. Yeah, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be sick because it's going to be 2 game 6s. It's going to be 2 elimination games.
Right.
On Prime Friday
On Prime.
night. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, no games tomorrow for that reason. So
Right.
I think they planned that and it worked out. So no, I'm with you on that. And as far as I'm with you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just kind of the news of the day, as we kind of got a little bit sidetracked, but more and more stuff going to those streaming services. So
Also say the NFL, that's what I was going to say. The NFL needs to be aware because the more you add, the less events there are. That's not how you get events. It's quantity. It is quality.
Right.
It is not quantity. NFL, you keep adding. You don't need to. You've got the events. You are minimizing them the more you add these weird little kinks into it, whether it's an international game and it's on a freaking Tuesday, it's on Christmas night. Like, it does not make it more of an event. You are going to ride us off into the sunset.
And they're going to continue to have some of these standalone games, and then it becomes a standalone game like baseball or basketball where you don't feel the need to have to watch every one of them. And that's where you start to get hurt. That's where you start to get hurt a little bit. All right, so here's the deal. LeBron's done in L.A., right? We saw that happen over the last couple of days. They got eliminated. They got swept away. And you and I interestingly enough, at the same time yesterday, must have been on the same LeBron wavelength, looking at different things and kind of figuring out his career. And we both had topics about, LeBron's career being a failure and the juice not being worth the squeeze. And I don't know at the end of the day that Laker rodeo with LeBron James was necessarily worth it. It's the Lakers. You didn't need LeBron James. A team like, and it's going to sound bad, like Memphis. And I know he hates Memphis, rightfully so. It's not a great place. But that's a team who could use a star player like LeBron James to sell tickets. LA didn't need LeBron James for marketing to sell tickets. They wanted to bring LeBron James in thinking that they were going to win championships. Well, here's what happened. First year missed the playoffs. The second year was the bubble. They won. Nobody counts that. Then you had a first-round exit, missed the playoffs. Swept in the finals. First-round exit.
Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Western Conference Finals. First-round exit, swept in the second round. 3 head coaches. They made his team draft his son, and that's where we sit.
Yeah.
Was that tenure a success in L.A.? I don't think that it was for LeBron James. I think that was a major fail overall for him going out there to L.A., and I give all the credit in the world to Josh. He goes, once he goes to L.A., everybody's going to forget about him, and it's going to be irrelevant. And it was. LeBron James needs to be on the East Coast. He needs to be in the Eastern Conference. He's your marquee player, whether you like it or not. He's got to be in the Eastern Conference for people to find him. But I just think I look at what he did in L.A., that's not a great run. That's not what the Lakers signed up for.
No, absolutely not. No, and this is LeBron James coming off of when they were still getting him in his prime 7 years ago, which I know is crazy, 33-year-old, 34-year-old LeBron James. He still was that guy. He was a top 5 player in the NBA. And so, the bubble ring, I give it more credence and more value maybe than some others because I do think the basketball being played was legitimate. But, there's definitely some sort of an asterisk.
You didn't have to go through that whole season, you know.
The hostile environments that the playoffs bring had none of that.
Right.
It was all just about your team, and that team really liked each other. They had good camaraderie, which would have mattered, but it mattered even more because you were staying in the same hotel room with your team that whole time. So if you didn't like each other, you're done, dude. And there are a lot of teams that you saw like Jokic and the Nuggets. They struggled. They came back 3-1, and then lost a 3-1 lead the next round because I don't think Jokic really liked that team. I think he got through one tough round with them. And so, I would consider it somewhat of a failure, but it kind of made me, because we had a text. I had the same topic. We had a text yesterday from, I don't know, some texter, some listener. We were talking about LeBron James, and he said 3 championships and 1 bubble title in 25 years. That would be a fail. So he's not even just calling the LA tenure. He's calling LeBron James' career a fail. And I think that, to me, is a little too much.
How many titles does he have?
He'll have 4.
4. If you count the bubble, it does count, but it doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
at the end of the day,
been to 10 finals.
He's been to 10 finals and only has won 4 championships.
He won 4 championships.
That's not exactly a great track record. It really isn't. I mean, so, when you said that to me, LeBron 4 championships, I'm like, that's it? That's not a lot. And you start to think about our guy, Patrick Mahomes, and this is a great topic that Mac brought up. So I'm going to let you bring it up because it's your topic, and also because I don't know what the answer is.
Well, it made me think of Mahomes. That question did, because I'm going, damn, this is the second greatest by most accounts basketball player of all time, if not second, fine, third, whatever it may be. He leads the league in scoring both in playoffs and regular season. I mean, he's got all these. We could go on and on. Leads the league in assists, all this stuff.
Right.
It made me think, okay, well, Mahomes is widely regarded as the second or third best quarterback of all time already, but he's only 31. He'll be 32 this year. If he never wins or even goes to another Super Bowl, is that going to be the texts we're getting in 8 or 9 years that Mahomes was a fail?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the right answer is to that question, bro. I really don't, because when you say, is that the text? Yeah, of course.
Yes. Well, I mean, let's frame that differently.
No,
no. No is the answer.
No is the answer, but you would say, did we get enough? Like, he didn't, it's not a fail, but if he doesn't win another championship, we'll be asking questions as to why. Why after the age of 30 could he not get it done, or, however it plays out, right? I'm not saying that it will, but no, we will absolutely have questions about that. Would the second half of his career be considered a failure if he doesn't win a championship? Probably. I mean, because that's what you're judged on. And when you get a bushel load of them in your first 5 years, you expect that trend to continue. His overall career, no, not at all would be a failure. The second half, if he plays another 10 years and doesn't win a championship, well, what are the circumstances? All this kind of stuff you'd have to look at. But I would think if Mahomes doesn't win another title in the next 10 years, we're questioning big time. Going, what happened, man? What was there a fall off? Did he get old? What happened?
I think the questions, and when you talk about legacy and when you do the GOAT debates, it'll come up every time because it'll be like without the other, like if he wins a couple more in the second half of his career, he will be compared to Kobe Bryant a lot. But if not, he won't have that second half of Kobe because Kobe, he would have had those questions if it weren't for 2009 and 2010. Those back-to-back rings solidified his legacy to get him 5, but also he didn't win with Shaq. Right now, if Mahomes doesn't win another, it'll be, well, he'll have his version of Shaq, which would be Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and even some people would throw Tyreek Hill in incorrectly because he only won one, but still they would do it because they're casuals and that's all they know. They know the cheetah. So they'd say Tyreek Hill, you had Andy Reid, you had Travis Kelce, that would be his Shaq. He needs now to, in this second half, win one.
You just dropped that they're casuals.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, if you ask to casually be like, oh yeah, Tyreek Hill, he won at least 2 with the Chiefs. Nope, he didn't. Nope.
I don't think you're wrong, but it's just like, just in passing, you're like just a drive by the casual fan.
That's like horseradish.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's hysterical. Like the casuals will say this. No, but you're like, yeah. Like,
so he needs to win without his Shaq.
Yeah.
So that is kind of what it is. But would it be a fail?
No.
No, but it'd be a big letdown. Yeah, you're right. It'd be a big letdown.
Be a big wet fart.
Yeah, I'd be like, really? Not at one?
Not one?
Didn't even appear in another Super Bowl?
And I was going to say something, but I kind of caught myself. We have the measuring stick with Jordan, but we have the measuring stick with Brady. We have the measuring stick with Brady. So I was like, well, LeBron has this measuring stick. Well, no, Patrick has a pretty big measuring stick too.
Yeah. I mean, seven titles, went to 10.
Yeah.
7 for 10?
Yeah.
And it's not like he never...
He was 7 for 7 if he didn't have to face the NFC East.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And those 3 that he lost were all legendary.
Epic.
Legendary, epic, great performances from both teams. It wasn't, and I'm sorry to say this, and I hate saying it, they weren't, absolute drubblings. They weren't absolute blowouts.
Right.
Like Mahomes' 2 losses.
Exactly. Mahomes' 2 losses have been brutal. You turn those games over at halftime.
They're some of the worst Super Bowls we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that second one, I'll defend him till the day I die when the Bucs won. But that Eagles one, that Eagles one, that the most recent, he was bad.
Yeah, he wasn't great that
The whole
day.
team was bad. He was bad.
Everything didn't shape up. So you guys can weigh in on that as well in the text line. Please let us know what you think. If Mahomes doesn't win or go to another Super Bowl in the rest of his career, how do we look at his career? Is it considered like LeBron, where you left me wanting more? You don't want to leave him wanting more in sports. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, the Chiefs' schedule is out, and we know what's going to happen. We'll tell you about it next.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday mornings starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are doing wonderful things in Kansas City. We know how much they love KC, how much they love the community. They love it so much they want to help you get better at your job. So you're an HVAC contractor. Here's what the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are going to do for you. They'll provide a flexible workforce for your project demands, timelines, and economic conditions. And get this, there's absolutely no cost to become a partner contractor with the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. And what they're going to do for you is this. They're going to help adjust the size, skills, and deployment of your workforce to maximize the effectiveness during times you need it the most. They'll provide the best trained manpower specifically for the HVAC industry, along with training of your current employees. There's no downside. It's completely free, and there's zero obligation. Just straightforward information on how they can help grow your business and profit margins. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics are tired of you feeling in pain, and I'm tired of you being in pain and feeling painful as well. You've got to get that taken care of because you know what? The nice weather's here, and you want to get outside. You want to play with your kids, and you want to play with your grandkids. Heck, you want to go out there and you want to play pickleball, golf, and do everything you normally do. But if you have joint pain, you know how difficult that is. At QC Kinetics, they are going to help you, and their long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain are here, and they're going to make you feel better. Because at QC Kinetics, they're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulders, hips, and lower back. And now they're moving again. They're sleeping, they're golfing, they're running without surgery or long recoveries. The science is real, the treatments are natural, and your body already knows how to heal. QC Kinetics just gives it the right tools. And there's no operating room, no hardware, and no watching summer come and go from a recliner. Just getting back to being you. QC Kinetics, better starts here. So schedule your free consultation today. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side, 635 southbound. A little heavy at Horizons Parkway. Making your way down across the bridge. Things pick up and move a little better. Northbound on the Kansas side, sluggish from K5 across the bridge. 70 eastbound, you may have to tap the brakes through the 635 interchange, but it looks like construction there now clearing. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
right, back at it on 96.5 The Fan. It is Fescoe and Dusty. Dusty out, Mac in for the next couple of days or so. What's going on with the poll question, Mac, as we do every single Wednesday here on Fescoe and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan? We have a poll question. Binkley and I answered the same answer for this one as well.
You did, and you guys may have swayed me.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
you guys had some good reasons for the Chargers, because the Chargers are the team that I was really scared of, and you were like, well, that's why you want to play them early. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. With a new offense, a new offensive coordinator, that makes sense. The poll question, as we've alluded to, which you can find on the Fan 965 on our Twitter or X page, which AFC conference opponent do you want to see after the Broncos? Bills, Bengals, Chargers are your options. Right now, Bills and Bengals tied at 45%, with the Chargers way down there at 9%. It seems like people don't really give a rip about the Chargers. And we got Retro Dad, who commented, don't care.
You cared enough to say, I don't care.
We've got some good comments on our conversation that we were having before the break.
What do we got?
About Mahomes' career, comparing it to LeBron James' career, because we had someone say his career was a fail as Mahomes. And then I asked the question, is Mahomes' career a fail if he never wins or goes to another Super Bowl? Some good text here.
Yeah.
Mahomes' legacy cemented as a top 2 to 5 QB ever, even if he never wins another Lombardi.
I don't know that to be the case, because 3 Lombardis is nice. It's not the 4th. The fourth is the game changer. I think when it comes to Lombardis for the quarterback, I think that's the number that you have to look at. That's your Terry Bradshaws, that's your Joe Montanas, that's your Tom Brady's. There's not many in that category. Not that there's many in the 3 category, but I think if you get that 4th, I think that potentially cements you. And the reason I say he can't cement, I don't think anybody, frankly, can cement their legacy, because we don't know what's coming down the pike, right? When we saw Tom Brady winning all those championships, we thought, oh, this will never be touched. And we didn't know anything about Patrick Mahomes. Now, Brett did. He was talking about that guy. He actually put Mahomes on a picture of sourdough and sent it to Andy a few years ago and said, how about this? I kid. So we don't know what's coming down the pike. There could be somebody that's better than Patrick Mahomes, over the years. But his personal legacy, I understand what you're saying about that. But I really think it's the 4th. If you get that 4th Super Bowl, to me, that's the game-changing conversation.
I still think he'd be cemented in the top 5, but I agree with you. Then it would be. It is a new echelon. It is a new tier. That 4th is something that, like you mentioned, the club. There's no one there, so it would be nice to be a part of that. The
Joe Montana, Tom Brady club is kind of cool.
It's
right?
pretty sick.
And I know Bradshaw's involved in that, and everybody credits his defense over the years of winning those. He still did it. He was still the quarterback of that team.
4 and 5 years, right?
Yeah, he's still part of that club.
Yeah,
so
you got to give it to him. It's a different game, but he was still a part of those. He ran the football a lot too. 816. If he doesn't win, the text you'll get will be that Veach failed, not Mahomes.
Okay, that's interesting.
I thought that was an interesting text as well.
I don't hate that text.
No,
I
didn't either.
think you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
We worship our players more than we worship our coaches in our front office.
Yes.
And that's how we start the blame always, right? It's the GM. First we start with the owner. The owner sucks, right? And then if the owner's actually good but it's not working, then the GM is ass. If we like the GM, but the team isn't playing good, but there's good talent, then the coaching stinks. We never blame the players until the very end. We never want to blame our heroes until the very end. Look, I love Patrick Mahomes as everybody, but he wasn't great last year. He makes mistakes. He can get better. They can all. Andy Reid, I think the greatest football coach on planet Earth ever.
Yes.
And he can get better.
And he was not great last year.
And he was not great last year. And I do mean that. I think he's the greatest coach of all time. He's coaching in an era that Don Shula wouldn't be having the success that he's having right now in this era of the NFL. Andy Reid has changed. Andy Reid has morphed. Andy Reid has developed himself. Andy Reid has created a new version of Andy Reid. I mean, all that guy does is win. He is the greatest football coach that we have ever seen. And so his legacy could be cemented clearly with another Super Bowl win as well. But I think we got his legacy cemented also. So long story short, the poll question is, who do you want to see next? And for me, it's the Chargers, because a team that is new, that is young, if you will, with their offensive coordinator quarterback relationship, I'm all in on that early in the season. The longer that season goes on, the better I think the Chargers are going to be.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. You kind of sold me, because I was like, though, I talked about how much I really like everything they've got going on as far as their skill positions, and I love Mike McDaniel and what he can do with Herbert. But you're right, it's a new offense. It's a new coach. They've got young players. It's going to take maybe a minute for that to all get rolling and really in rhythm. And so, if you can play them week 2 and sneak away with a win before they start throwing for 400 yards a game and stuff like that, I'm in with that. I think the same could be said with the Bengals. who every year seemingly start 1-3, 2-2, 0-3, whatever
they
it
dig
is.
themselves a hole every year.
Every year, Zach Taylor struggles with that. So we'll be looking at that. That would be a solid option as well. I think the Bills, I think everyone likes the Bills later on in the year, but obviously right now they're tied with the Bengals on that poll that you can find on the Fan 965 as more schedule release stuff comes out.
Tied at number 1.
Yep, tied at number
Wow,
1.
so the Chargers are in third place.
Chargers big time third place.
Wow.
7%. Now the Bengals taking a little bit of a lead as we're talking about it. People are going to vote on our Twitter page. So Bengals now over 50% of the vote.
Okay. Yeah, because people want the Bengals early too, because they're going to figure it out later in the season when it's too late. You don't want to face them later in the season. But I just think I got this image of week 2 against the Chargers, and one of the receivers for San Diego runs the wrong route, and you get that shot of Justin Herbert, and he's pointing, you were supposed to be over here. We're not going to get that later in the season.
No.
You're going to get that earlier in the season when they're learning that new offense and things are still fresh and new, and everybody's not quite on the same page. And when you're not all on the same page and you're doing a little bit of thinking, you're not playing as fast. So give me the Chargers earlier in the season. What about the defensive line for the Chiefs, Bob? They're new as well. The whole defense is new. Defense is different.
Defense is way different.
Defense is different. At the end of the day, you just pin your ears back and you chase down the ball carrier and make a mess, right? That at the end of the day on defense, if you forgot what you were supposed to do, odds are if you go get the guy with the ball, you're going to do your job and it's going to be okay.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't worry about the defensive playbook as much as I worry about kind of a new offensive playbook for this team. But as we know yesterday, the Chiefs are going to open this thing now at home. It came out a little bit later in the day. It is official. It's an Arrowhead opening for the start of the season. And I like the fact that we get to have Patrick Mahomes make the comeback at home, because I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday who's a season ticket holder, and he says, man, I just wish Patrick Mahomes would make his comeback at home. Like, if they open on the road, hold him out so he can make that first comeback at home.
Yeah, that makes
and I'm
sense.
thinking, that would be kind of fun.
It's going to be sick.
But he's going to be there,
it's gonna be
obviously. Patrick Mahomes coming back is going to be great. Travis Kelce's final rodeo, hopefully, we think. Maybe not. I don't know. For him as well, as they get set to get married here in the next month or so. And so this is an interesting thing to say and to look at. So I think Chiefs opening at home, I understand the fans want it, but, man, the sweetness of just going on the road and taking care of business in week 1 would have been something just so remarkably, epically cool to have the ability to go out there to Denver and just punch them right in the horse face.
And it would have felt, extra great, because we're going to have the doubters. I mean, I'm already tired of is Mahomes going to play week 1? But once we finally get that out of the way, which, trust me, we've got a couple months of it. Gear up, guys. That is going to be the conversation. Is he going to play? Once we get past that and we all know, hey, he's going to be there, it's going to be, well, he's not going to look the same. He's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. He just tore his ACL. And so how awesome would it have been to go into Mile High and say, get bent, suck it, and win right away, and Mahomes look like Patrick LeVon Mahomes II right away.
See, now you're sounding like me, because I'm vindictive, and I want to go out there and rip their face off and kick them in the nuts.
I'm with you.
I think that would have been the way to do it. But, man, we got to play him here, so we'll kick him in the nuts here. Let's do one word.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. One word, you know what it is. It's brought to you by Maloney's, Sand Trap, and The Landing. 3 fantastic local spots. You can get great food, wonderful drinks. They've got a million TVs. You can watch your favorite sports team there. They all have an outdoor patio, and the weather is really nice. It's perfect for it. So each spot, Maloney's, Sand Trap, and The Landing. Go sit outside. Go watch your favorite sports team. Go watch those Royals today again on at 6:40. You can hear Vern right here on the Fan 96.5. 96.5 The Fan at 5:30. So again, great food over there at Maloney's today. A pesto chicken sandwich with fries or chips for $16. Plus, any drink special they have during the week is available all day today over at Maloney's.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it's awesome. Seriously. So those $6 double margs that were available yesterday and Tuesday, hey, it's Wednesday, so they're still available over there at Maloney's. Let's get to it. We've got I've got it packed one word today, so let's rifle through these.
You
all right?
got it.
One word, Royals, White Sox. They lose yesterday, the opener to that 3-game series. Was it 5-4, 6-5?
5-4, yeah. No, 6-5.
6-5, yes.
Yeah, stinky. That's where that was. the BBL stinky, right?
stinky.
You had an opportunity in this one, and you didn't take advantage of it. I don't like losing to the White Sox, not because they're a division rival, but because you're going to be competing with the Chicago White Sox for the next few years, because I think the White Sox and Royals are the two teams that are poised to kind of stay around in the American League Central. The White Sox have already taken advantage of you this year. They lead the series 3-2, so they've got that advantage right now. And it was stinky because the seventh inning is what really was stinky. You get your first two guys on, and then Carter and Kaggs are coming up, and they both whiff and strike out. Great learning moment for both of them. Obviously, a great learning moment. A great learning moment for both of them. But you'd like to see one of those guys come through in that moment, and then Glenn Allen Hill hits the home run in the bottom of the eighth inning to give the White Sox, that 6-5 win. Royals right now are on pace to be 73-89.
Yeah, I don't like that. I will say that if you if you took the last 20 games, not the last 40, that would maybe be different. They have been trending upwards, but I'm with you.
But they are what they are. You can't change your record.
You can't change your record, and those first 20 games do matter, and they are somewhat indicative of what we saw and what we're continuing to see. So I'll go bounce back. You just need to win these next two.
You do. I mean, you got to. You got to find a way to beat the White Sox because, like I said, they're going to be your competition in the division. I was listening to the Chicago side of the broadcast, and they said the goal now in baseball is to find a way to get 7 wins against every one of your divisional teams. That's how you kind of secure yourself a postseason opportunity. 7 wins against every single team in your division. And I thought that was kind of interesting to think about. But, the Royals now, they're getting close to not being able to get those 7 wins against the Chicago White Sox. And so the Chicago White Sox, they're not last year or the year before Chicago White Sox anymore. It's a good baseball team over there.
UMKC returning to municipal, one word.
Cool. There's so many cool superlatives to use for this, but this is the right way to do it. I love the fact that they're going down there and they're playing at Municipal Auditorium, the most historic, arena this side of Madison Square Garden. It's hosted more NCAA tournament games and Final Fours than anything. This is going to be fun. This is a great move by Doc Martin over there at UMKC, Coach Turge, all these folks that are saying, we're going into the city, we're playing to where the people are, we're going to pack this place and we're going to have fun. And if they win, you mark my words, it will be a fun place to be.
Yeah, how about this? Disney has acquired the Banana Bowl. Starting this fall, Disney Plus will be the U.S. home of the Banana Ball League's season championship. They announced that yesterday, and it will stream in October. One word.
Money.
That was mine, too.
Big money. I mean, they're getting 102,000 people at these games, right?
Selling out football stadiums.
Right. I don't know if you saw what happened yesterday. One of their players is now on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
so you're having
expanding.
that.
Yeah. It's really good.
You're having that cultural crossover. Are people still doubting the Savannah Bananas? And what I mean by doubting, it's not baseball. You're right. It's not. It's fun.
Yep. It's a different thing.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Yeah, Jackson Olsen will be on season 35 of ABC's Dancing with the Stars.
He's the big star.
He's very good looking, yes.
Yeah, he's great at TikToks, and yes, the ladies love him. I like this. Minor league baseball team, the Louisville Bats. They're hosting a nothing night. I think we've talked about something like this before. It's basically baseball in its purest form. No ads, no music, no videos, no on-field promotions. One word.
Nothing. No, I like it. It's fun. It's minor league baseball. You should do stuff like that. Now, did they charge nothing to get into?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd say.
How cool would that be?
How nothing is it?
Right? Well, we're not going to that far.
Not nothing.
You got to pay for your parking and for
exactly.
your beers and all that stuff, but we're not going to entertain you during the game. I wonder if fans like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for one time it would be nice.
Yeah.
I think it'd be calming, would be my word.
To me, it reminds me of when they do games without broadcasters, and you think that's going to be great, and then you're 2 minutes in, and you're like, all right,
wait, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. No, when people complain about the play-by-play or something, I just then mute it and see how it feels.
Right, exactly.
I guarantee you won't like it.
What about this for an invention? An AI feature where you can determine who calls your games, but you can't do like live announcers. You can go back historically. And so if you're watching a game, you're like, you know what? I want Madden and Summerall to call this one. You just click that button on your remote, and you can dial up Madden and Summerall to call that game for you that day.
I'm going to go with no, because I want new people to get opportunities.
Okay.
And broadcasting in our industry. That could screw me over as well. What if you don't want to hear Mac in the mornings? You want to hear,
Well, you can't do it on the radio.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Making rules. First two shows of the season are set for college football. Week 1, we've got Clemson at LSU, and then Ohio State at Texas over there. Week 2, one word.
Awesome. That's great. The first weekend of the season kind of stinks. They have 2 games on like the day before Labor Day, that Sunday, and they're both on at the same time on different networks. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Why are we putting 2 college football? The only 2 games of the day are both on at 6:30 on that Sunday or Monday of Labor Day weekend. Like, why are we doing that? Spread those games out. Give people the opportunity to watch both of them.
Yep.
People are going to be wanting their football fix that weekend.
I know I will be.
Yeah.
It'll be a 2 TV night, that's for sure. Okay, how about this? Have a lot more 2 TV nights if this actually happened. Portland Trail Blazers owner Tom Dundon could move the franchise to another state. Frustrations are growing over there as the politicians aren't taking the relocation threat seriously. Adam Silver hasn't done his part. One word on Portland to KC.
No.
Come on.
Because I don't think it would be good. I really don't. Because you're not going down there in February on a Tuesday to watch a 19-32 basketball team.
I mean, I am.
The city isn't. We are tapped when it comes to our sports teams from a financial stability standpoint.
Well, what about UMKC and municipal? You're talking about packing that out.
It's a college team. It's 20 games max a year. You don't need the corporate support. You don't have the billion-dollar salaries.
That's fair.
You don't have all of that money that you need to spend. And I'll be honest with you, we have one Fortune 500 company in this city. Who's paying the freight on all of this? I mean, you're eventually going to have to sell those courtside seats. You're going to eventually have to sell the suites. I mean, we got 2 new stadiums opening for our teams that have been here forever and a day. I need those 2 things to be very successful. I don't care about the NBA. I would say the same thing about hockey, though, too. I just don't think we're at a time and a place where we need to be adding teams, especially with the 2 new stadiums coming on. We need to make sure that those are very successful, and people only have a certain amount of ancillary income to spend. We don't have the corporate support in this town for it, so I'm out.
Buzzkill, I would say awesome. This would be fantastic. I think people would go. I think it'd be really fun, and I think even if you've got a bad basketball team, I think that's better than more games. I mean, a bad NHL or a bad baseball team means 80 games. I mean, a bad basketball team means 40.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think we like basketball here in Kansas, and I think we deserve an NBA team.
Yeah, I'm totally against it. But
we have the owner.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is he a Kansas City guy? Does he have ties here?
No, I'm just saying in this hypothetical, moving to Kansas City, you've got the owner.
Who?
Tom Dundon.
No, but what's his ties? Where does he come from? Because there is a place that he comes from. I'm like, he's moving the team there.
Well, he's, I don't know where he's from. I have to see. I don't know. Alma Mater, Southern Methodist. He's from New York.
He's from New York?
Yeah. So, I mean,
there was some connection with this guy, though. He owns something else, maybe.
He's brought up multiple cities as possibility. He's threatened, I can't remember. He threatened one that was like
He just bought the team last week.
Yeah, he's
seriously like it's a new venture for this guy.
Yeah,
and he's already threatening.
He will not hesitate to move the franchise to Nashville, Austin, or Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo.
I've never. Michigan looks really pretty.
That's maybe he's a Michigan guy.
Yeah, maybe it looks really nice.
You've never heard of Kalamazoo,
nope,
Michigan?
Never. 73,000 population. Come on. No. An NBA team, no. We're not doing that. Come on. Come to Kansas City.
I'm out. Not interested. Don't think we're ready for it. Don't think we could support it. Don't think it would be good. And I don't want that guy who bought a team a week ago and is already threatening to move. How do you know even the landscape of what's going on up there? Like, seriously, you just bought this team and you're already threatening to move? You want somebody like that? We're dealing with that? I don't. I'm going to move if I don't get what I want. Sir, you just bought the team yesterday. I'm moving. Where?
I just don't know how you talk about how great of a sports city we are and how we'd rally around UMKC and the Roos, but we're not going to rally around an NBA team.
It's not a financial thing.
It's not a financial thing either. An NBA game is so cheap. NBA games are cheap to go to.
You're missing the point.
You're talking about corporations. You're talking about the business. I get that part. I'm talking about the city and fans. City and fans, you're talking about that too. I know you're talking about corporations and money and all that stuff. I get it.
I hate to say this, the fans aren't the ones that keep the teams. It is the corporations spending the money.
But you said that fans wouldn't go, and I'm just arguing that. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, fans going? I don't know.
Fans will go.
Is it a good product? I mean, is it a good product? I don't know. I don't know that we will. I don't think people pay for bad products anymore. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the corporation, the business side of it. I get that. You're right.
But that's
part
what you need. That's how you have to. These owners don't care about the fans. They want money.
No, I'm with you. You were saying that we wouldn't rally. I absolutely think the city would love it. Yes.
Oh, I'm not. Two different conversations. Can we afford it financially? No. I don't think it would be a good financial thing here for Kansas City. I don't think we have the companies. I don't think we have the money. I think we're stretched where we are right now. We have 4 professional teams in this town, We have 4 professional teams, 3 major colleges, a couple of like minor league teams that draw well too. And so I think we're at a point now, until we get more financial from the corporations here. Do you know how hard it was to get sponsors for the World Cup in this town? The biggest World Cup sponsor came from across the state, Purina.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have the corporate support to make these teams work. Otherwise, they're just going to look out. So they're like, I'm sure the fans in Portland are great. Why are they looking to get out of Portland? Because they put a bad product out there for a while. And they had a coach that was, arrested. So why are they looking to leave Portland? I'm sure the fans there are great. When you put a good product out, the fans will be there. You've got to have that corporate support.
Fans, yeah.
And they are. That's right. So why
Great
would you leave that city? It's the only game in town, too. Why would you want to come to a landscape where there's an NFL team with Patrick Mahomes, baseball team with Bobby Witt? I wouldn't want to come here. There's a lot to overcome. You're in Portland. You're by yourself. How do you not just make boatloads of cash? Seriously, that's a bad business. You're the only game in town up there, man.
Yeah, I do wonder why he does want to move.
Because he's new and,
Because I know there's reasons there, but I'll have to look into that more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is, but I just know from where I stand, the fans, fine, people will go to their games, but we just don't, the corporate support. I don't want a team to come here and fail. That's my biggest fear. And maybe that's not the right way to look at it, but I just can see the sports landscape and know how hard it was to raise money for the World Cup, which is the world's biggest stage,
He wants a new venue.
Of course, everybody does.
Yeah.
We're building a new venue for the Sixers and the Flyers, and that thing just opened. We're building a new venue for the Broncos. That thing just opened. In Anaheim, not Anaheim, but Arlington. They just built a new stadium for the Rangers. That thing was open for 20 years. They build new stadiums. We're tearing these things down and building them. The Parthenon's been there for 6 million years.
Yeah, it's still going. So we wouldn't support an NHL team then?
I think fans would, yeah. But I don't know business-wise, no. No, okay. I don't want either of those teams coming here. I want if somebody's going to come here, it's got to be under the right circumstances and know that it's going to be successful. And I don't know with our other teams that we will be. And only a 2-point-some million people too. We're a very small town to have all these sports teams, and I just think one more may be kind of the breaking point for all of that. Coming up, I can't believe this guy is getting disrespected when it comes to the Royals. Next.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Graduation season is the busiest time of the year, and you want it to be perfect, so you need to trust Hy-Vee with your important celebrations like we do. Choose from a wide range of budget-friendly catering options like the classic grill out for just $7 per person or the Hai Chai Asian buffet for just $14 per person. And don't forget the personalized baked goods, flowers, and more. Leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. So sit back and relax. Your perfect graduation party starts at Hy-Vee.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side Olathe, 35 northbound with an accident before 127th Street. Left lane blocked. Delays very heavy coming up from about K7. 435 southbound very slow this morning. You're hitting delays at K32 off again, on again, just crawling all the way down to Shawnee Mission Parkway, where you're down to one lane with an accident in the construction zone. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
All right, coming up in about an hour and 10 minutes, we'll talk to the manager of the Royals, Matt Quatraro. He joins us every Wednesday, 96.5 The Fan. All right, I'm going to ask you, Mac, to kind of weigh in on this one, because this is one that you found, got my dander up a little bit, because you're right. Number 5 gets disrespected all over the place, and you found some sort of like respect list of Major League Baseball teams based on the best player of all time, and it's like people don't even know who George is.
Yeah, this is this guy who just does sports takes, and it's gotten quite a bit of views, quite a bit of run here on Twitter, and it just goes, in categories of absolute legend, legendary, famous, familiar, who are you, ranking MLB teams based on how legendary their best player of all time is. So, like, for instance, the Yankees, absolute legend, because Babe Ruth, right, or whoever it is. And then the Mariners, absolute legend. And you've got the Giants, absolute legend. Like, all that makes sense. And then down there at the very bottom in the category, who are you? The Royals.
Yeah.
Next to the Rays and the White Sox and the Brewers. What are we doing?
Well, also, I think like the
George Brett?
The Brewers, I mean, you could say who their greatest player is, probably Robin Yount of all time. That's kind of, same Hall of Fame class as George. The Twins have had some good players over the years as well. The White Sox, Tampa, who are you? I get that. Nobody knows who's played down there because they really haven't had any legendary players yet. But to put that into the category with the Royals and say, who are you based on your best player of all time, and you don't know who George Brett is, that's on you. I just, like, I get I guess, a little upset that people don't appreciate the history of what came before them. And I remember being a younger reporter back in the days and, going through, there's a labor stoppage or some work stoppage we were talking about or whatever it was. And some of the players would say, man, or the old players would always say the new players don't appreciate anything that we've done for them. They don't pay any attention to us. And I was like, how could that be? You guys laid the groundwork for all of this. If you consider yourself a baseball fan, like a real baseball fan, and you don't know who George Brett is, I can't look at you and say, well, yeah, you're a real baseball fan. You should know the history of some of the greatest players of all time. And I'm not going to do this today, but I could, if I wanted to, make the case that George is a 5 or 10 best baseball player of all time. And you look at what George Brett has accomplished and the way that he played the game. The man won a batting title in 3 different decades. Nobody else has ever done that. One in the 70s, one in the 80s, and one in the 90s. Nobody in the history of Major League Baseball has ever done something like that. I mean, the guy chased 400 for a summer. He's the all-time home run leader in Kansas City Royals history. He's arguably the greatest third baseman of his generation. People will talk about Mike Schmidt in that same category. You can have those conversations back and forth. I don't understand how George Brett can be so disrespected on this list, other than you consider the source and you wonder, does this guy have a clue of what baseball is all about? Because if you're ranking the teams, Mac, and you're putting the teams up there in that conversation, and you say, who are they? And you put the Royals on there, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem if you use that category and you say, who are they? And you have the Royals, because they haven't been that successful. Most people don't know anything about the Kansas City Royals, but they're doing it based on their most legendary players, and the most legendary player in Royals history is one of the most legendary players in baseball history.
Yeah, exactly. The batting title is always that stat is just incredible when I come to that. It's always insane to look at. Batting average, everything that he has statistically you can look at, and the numbers are there. And I think it's just because people don't know. People don't even know my age. A lot of people don't know who George Brett is. Sadly, it just is what it is. They just don't know.
How do people go to a game and see those numbers out there and not ask what they are? Because my mother, the first Royals game she went to, she goes, "Why are there multiples of 5 in the outfield?" And I go, well, that's a good question. Those are the retired numbers, George and Dick Hauser and the other guy. And so I explained, why the numbers were retired and whatnot. And you get a little bit of a history of what's going on. But how can you sit at a baseball game, at a Royals game, and not know who George Brett is? I mean, we took a call 2 years ago of a guy going, I'm in my 30s. I don't know who George Brett is. How is that possible? Especially in Kansas City, where we really haven't had that many legendary players since George Brett. And George is everywhere in this town. How do you not know who George Brett is?
I think it's also team success. I know, obviously,
very good point.
85 was amazing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a large part of his tenure, the Royals were average.
Well, the late 70s to mid 80s, they were one of the best teams in baseball.
Okay. So there's a good stretch of elites.
They were a dominating organization. They were toe-to-toe with the Yankees.
For how long?
For, I would say, probably from, let's say 76 to 85.
So good run.
Yeah.
And he was there that whole time.
Yeah, George went to 2 different world championships, World Series, won one, win playoffs all the time, some of the most memorable
That's fair.
playoff moments. Now, again, it's the 70s and 80s. It is a long time ago. I understand that. But baseball is a game that loves its history, and fans usually love the history of baseball.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You'd think that would stick out more.
Yeah, because people talk about the history of the game all the time. I mean, Vern talks about it in the sense of you can't tell American history without talking about baseball, and he's right. And baseball is a direct arm of American history. When you think about the segregation and everything that was going on in baseball was also going on in our country at that point in time. And so if you don't know the history of baseball, maybe you don't know the history of America as well as you should, or maybe you don't care. I don't know what it is, but I feel like baseball with history is the sport where we talk about the history of the game,
Maybe even too much sometimes say in the past, right? Like, all right, guys, let's stop talking about it. I think maybe it's also just like, I'll be the guy who dogs on the younger generation for once, but it may just be the younger generation not doing their due diligence and going back and knowing stuff before them. That could be part of it too, which would suck if that's the case, but I feel like it kind of is.
Yeah, I think, well, and also too, I mean, look, the way that the younger generation grows up now with phones and whatnot in their hands, they're not listening to dad tell them stories. You're just not. Grandpa's not, maybe he wants to regale you with stories of yesteryear. You're too worried about what's going on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about that stuff. You don't read books anymore like we used to back in the day.
Well, I think that's a big part
of it.
No
one reads
books
anymore.
I'm just now starting to get into books. I'm like, all right, I'm going to become a reader. I'm going to read. I'm going to,
do something different.
make my mind work.
I'm trying to get information.
Yes.
You know?
Let's get smarter.
Yeah. So I don't think people, read I was different growing up. I loved history and I loved sports, and I read every sports book out there, and a lot of it was old stuff that I would find and read and find out all that kind of stuff. And so, but not to know who George Brett is and consider yourself a baseball fan, to me, you're not a baseball fan if you don't know who one of the greatest baseball players of all time is. And hopefully Salvi can get into that category someday, because now he's just 8 home runs shy of tying George Brett for the most all-time in Royals history. Coming up, we've got a Cole Reagans update. We'll give it to you next.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20.
Professor Vernier sitting up here, bloviating.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Window World, they are the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are also the official window of the Fescoe household, because you know why? We have over 30 windows from Window World that we had installed a couple of years ago when we needed replacement windows. It was the only phone call we made. It's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's very simple to remember, 1-800-GET-WINDOWS, and you can get all your replacement windows like we did from Window World. And there's so many different reasons why we love Window World, because, not only do they have a great lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor, their windows are durable. So when they come out to your house, or if you go to the showroom, tell them to stand on that replacement window. They'll do that to show you exactly how strong they are. And this is the time of the year now you're turning on the air conditioning. You want to make sure you got good windows. You don't want to cool the outside and waste all that money. So get on the phone now and contact my folks over at Window World. 1-800-GET-WINDOWS is their telephone number, or you can just check them out at windowskansascity.com. That's windowskansascity.com or 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's Window World.
Spring is here, and if you're still feeling exhausted, no energy, no sex drive, it may be time to head to Low T Center. 1 in 4 men has low testosterone, but the Low T Center can help you book a free testosterone test to see if you qualify for their TRT customized treatment. They do that based on your body, expert providers choosing it for you to make sure that it is effective. Low T Center is the original TRT clinic and has helped countless men across the U.S. get their lives back through high-quality testosterone therapy. It sets the standard that other clinics are still trying to measure up to. That's because the Low T Center has been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the entire market. They only use pharmaceutical-grade, never compounded testosterone, so you know what's going in your body. Don't settle for compounded mystery testosterone. And at the Low T Center, they have board-certified experts in their field, making sure that it's perfect just for you. So head over for that free testosterone test, that T-test at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only in 523.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Hey guys, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We're excited to launch Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana & Parks. This is about Kansas City, not about soccer. Telling the story of how our town ended up hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, plus video clips on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
Subscribe to Beyond the Pitch KC on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, Metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
All 8th to 35 northbound, very heavy before K7. Stays that way up past Santa Fe with an accident. 435 southbound, crawling from K32 down not quite to Shawnee Mission Parkway with an earlier wreck. 70 eastbound, heavy from College Parkway to 635 with roadwork. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Follow the station on Instagram for daily videos like the Royal Decree, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Would You Rather Wednesday. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Schedule release day is tomorrow. I don't know about you, Mac, but I am kind of surprised. We have not seen many leaks of the schedule, you know? There haven't been many leaks like there normally are. They're kind of keeping this one a little bit closer to the vest, I think, and maybe they just don't even really know what it is yet because as of yesterday morning, they didn't have a site determined for Chiefs and Broncos, and then by the time the afternoon rolled around, the site showed up for the Chiefs and Broncos. So it's interesting to see how close, but yet how they're not quite finished yet, and they're chasing this deadline of Thursday to get that schedule out.
Thursday, we will know when, where, all the things about the Chiefs' schedule. We do have international announcements.
Yep.
Adam Schefter posting a lot about all the international games right now, which we already know where all of them being played, so he's just kind of doing it to
But now
do
you
it,
know
I
the
guess.
opponents, because we're not in an international game.
No, we are not, but I think we already knew the opponents. At least I had it yesterday. At least they had released this
yesterday. You're talking
yesterday.
about, okay.
And so now Schefter coming out with it. Saints Steelers in Paris.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yes.
The Saints going to Paris. I love that.
Saints Steelers in Paris. How about Colts and Commanders in London? We knew that, yeah. Vikings 49ers in Mexico City. Patriots versus the Lions in Germany.
Okay, that's cool.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, and then I've got all the other ones here, right here, the international sites.
You think Vrabel will pick up when he's over there?
Depends on who's calling. Madrid, Cincinnati, and Atlanta.
Wait, say that again. Cincinnati and Atlanta.
In
That's the one I
Madrid.
thought we would get against the Falcons.
Yes, against the Falcons.
in
It'll be
Madrid,
Cincinnati. And then, I said the Mexico. We said the Munich, Paris. Yeah, and the rest is London.
Yeah, so we're not getting an international game this year. I'm sure we're probably going to get a Christmas Day game.
Oh, you got the Ravens and Cowboys. My mistake, in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, the Brazil game.
In Brazil, yep.
So we'll probably have a Christmas Day game or something like that, as we normally do. I think that's kind of been our home lately, playing on Christmas Day. Maybe we will, maybe we don't. But the international stuff, I guess, just kind of give the Chiefs a year off, maybe?
I'm great with that.
Yeah.
I'm great with that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I know that we yesterday in our staff meeting, we had a sales guy who mentioned the fact that, Thanksgiving could be a possibility again, too, from what he's hearing. So we'll see if Thanksgiving's going to be a thing yet again for the Chiefs, and maybe that becomes a regular occurrence.
Maybe.
And that's something that we can kind of plan around every year. Okay, Thanksgiving, we're going to do our time at 2 because we know it's 7 p.m. every Thanksgiving. It's going to be the Chiefs.
No, we played on Thanksgiving last year,
we did.
too. Yeah,
and it might
that's
be
right.
It might become a regular occurrence. That may be the thing.
Well, it's not going to be against Dallas.
Nope.
It's not going to be against, have they released the Lions? Or do we play the Lions this year?
I don't know. I can't remember if we play the Lions.
Yeah, I don't think that we do this year. So we don't play the NFC North this year. No Lions, right?
No Lions.
Okay, so it won't be in Detroit. It won't be in Dallas. We know that.
It'll be their standalone game at night.
Yeah,
if it happens.
If it happens, could be here or could be, whoever they decide to play. But I thought they announced the night game for Thanksgiving. Whatever.
Yeah, no international game. I'll take it.
Right. We'll figure it out once the schedule comes along. I don't know if this is a coincidence or if this is something that they had planned. But after the column that came out with the guy who left Ole Miss and went to LSU, your guy Lane Kiffin, just destroying Ole Miss, really getting to places where he probably shouldn't go.
Seriously.
They announced the time that they're going to play LSU. LSU at Ole Miss September 19th will kick off 6:30 on ABC. Like, all of a sudden, that becomes like not that it wasn't a must-watch game with Lane going back to Ole Miss.
So ready.
But after this interview in Vanity Fair, we said players didn't want to go there because it was the South and all this kind of stuff. Like, really took shots at Ole Miss on his kind of way out the door. It's going to be interesting to see how he is received back there in wherever they play their games. But it's going to be very interesting to see how he is received once he goes back there, because he did not leave, as they say, in a nice way. He burned every bridge on the way. I believe it seemed like anyway, out of town. So coming up, Matt Quatraro will join us in about an hour here on 96.5. The Fan will talk a little bit about what's going to happen with this baseball team. But the strength of schedule we talked a little bit about yesterday, and we wanted to get kind of more into this about, where the Chiefs' strength of schedule ranks, because they're a top 5 when it comes to toughest schedules in the NFL, and we're judging it based on a season last year, which we do every year, but we're basing it on teams that lose about 30% of their roster. And so when you look at the toughest schedules going into this NFL season, the Chiefs are right up there. But are they really right up there in the top 5? I don't know.
That's not an accurate way to actually look at strength of schedule. And I was trying to remember over the past few years what I have done to really evaluate, okay, how tough is the schedule? And Warren Sharp, among others, do it the right way. And that's based on projected win totals. Because
that's cool.
Yeah, because Vegas is accounting for the new team. They know that Kyler Murray's in Minnesota. They know what happened last year. It also accounts for luck. Because when you go off of last year's strength of schedule, you're taking into account all the turnovers that happened or all the dropped picks that a team got. When we saw us 2 years ago, the Chiefs won every one possession game they were in. What happened the next year?
Right.
They lost every one possession game they were in. The luck can turn like a seesaw really, really quick. And so that takes it all out. When you look at projected win totals, it kind of creates an even amount of luck for each team. So it doesn't take into account that past record and just looking at, okay, what is this team's projected win total, and looking at their schedule that way. If you look at it that way, the Chiefs actually have the 10th easiest schedule. So when you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, this is actually going to be as bad. You look at 10 through about 21, pretty close as far as projected win totals and strength of schedule. But
Chiefs have the easiest schedule in the division, too.
Yes.
They have the easiest schedule at 10. Broncos are at 11. Raiders are at 19. Chargers are at 21.
Yeah, exactly. The Lions there with the easiest. The Saints with the second easiest. It sucks over there. Down there at the bottom, you've got the Cardinals, the Dolphins, by like a wide margin of 32 and 31, the toughest schedules in the league. Those are the 2 worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, but, because the teams that are going to play them probably get on the easier side of the schedule as well, because you've got the Dolphins, who are projected to be a winless team. The Cardinals are projected to be a winless team. And so when you're the 49ers and you get to play them twice a year, or you're, whoever else, in the AFC East, not the Miami Dolphins, obviously, but, let's say the New England Patriots, you get to play them twice a year. I'm not willing to say the Jets can beat the Dolphins.
So that'll make your
times.
schedule that much easier.
Makes your schedule that much
Yes.
easier. Yeah, right. That's why when you look at it, how can the Chiefs have an easier schedule than the Raiders? Well, the Raiders have to play the Chiefs twice, and the Chiefs get to play the Raiders twice. And so, by that standpoint, the Raiders' schedule becomes tougher, and the Chiefs' schedule becomes easier.
A little easier.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, based on those win totals. So I think when we talk about strength of schedule, this is the way to do it.
I love this. This is brilliant. This is a great idea by Warren Sharp, man.
It really is.
I'm in on this. This is cool. I'd never seen this before. I'd never seen anybody do this. We all just, as we always do, just follow blindly. Oh, based on last year's strength of schedule. And then Max says to me yesterday, he goes, Bob, you say all the time 30% of a roster turns over every year. How can we do this? I'm like, you're right.
Exactly.
And then Warren Sharp has this one where it's based on Vegas win totals this year. And I like that better. I do.
Yeah, to get into the nerdisms of it, from 2010 to 2018, only 5.7% of a team's actual strength of schedule was explained by opponents' prior year records. So you can't tell a lot from a schedule, a lot from what your team's going to face that upcoming season based on last year. So much changes. If we knew how tough a team was going to be, or how great a team was going to be, or how tough a schedule was going to be based on last year, sports wouldn't be as fun, would they?
Right.
Like, a lot of it is the unknown.
It is the unknown.
We have to take into account as much as we can. Vegas, all those books are already doing a bunch of the work trying to come up with statistics and with data that points to some sort of accurate information. Okay, what is this team going to do now that they look like this? So
Right.
Warren Sharp's going based off that. I love it.
Yeah,
10th easiest schedule in the league. Chiefs.
10th easiest, yeah. I like that. I love that analogy. I like the way to look at it that way better than based on last season. And I'm glad somebody finally came up with something a little bit different for ways to kind of check this things out. So I think it really is cool that we're seeing that as a way to basically kind of reevaluate the way that we look at strength of schedule. We have changed something so dramatically. I hope this picks up. I really do. I hope we see more and more folks say, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start looking at it based on what we project you to do, because the folks in Vegas have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, they're pretty good at this.
They're pretty darn good at everything they do. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, a pretty bad loss still has Mac upset, and it's been going on for years. We'll see if he can get over it next.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending, they're more than friends. They're family. That's what we consider the folks at Golden Oak Lending, because what families do, they always have your back. They're always looking out for your best interest. They're always finding ways to help you, and that's what the folks at Golden Oak Lending always do. Once you become a member of their family, they're always there for you, looking out for all of your best interests. In fact, we had a call from Tom at Golden Oak the other day. We've been working with Tom for like the last 10 or 11 years. Called my wife the other day and said, hey, we may be getting close to something happening for you guys. We may be having something good come down the pike. Hang tight with us. That's what they do at Golden Oak Lending. They're always keeping you updated of ways to save money. And if you're looking to refinance, now is the time. The average cash out customer at Golden Oak Lending saves $1,104 per month. And with Golden Oak Lending, you get to go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. So if you refinance, you're talking the end of summer by the time you're scratching that check again. And we all need cash for something, whether it's a wedding, it's home repairs, it's credit card bills. We all need help, and Golden Oak is there to help us out. So take that free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a phone call. 913-890-GOLD. 913-890-GOLD. And let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side Olathe, 35 northbound, just crawling. Accident past Santa Fe. It's got two lanes blocked. Delays back to around Lone Elm Road. 435 southbound, still pretty heavy from Holiday Drive down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with an accident in the construction zone. 70 eastbound, off again, on again, heavy from College Parkway in towards 635 with road work and an accident there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
I think as I've become older, I've become more like Mac's generation. And what I mean by that, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because you don't know where I'm going with this, because I don't even really know where I'm going with this at this point in time. But correct me if I'm wrong. Your generation, and I envy this and I've embraced this, at least this is the way I think. You guys love experiences, right? Mm-hmm. Your generation is the generation of experiences. You'd rather go somewhere and see something than buy a shirt.
Totally.
Or have a possession, right?
Yes.
You'd rather have the opportunity to see something you've never seen before and do something that seems kind of cool. You want that experience, right? Yeah. And that's kind of what we're doing with our kids. We don't buy a lot of stuff, but we'll give them the experiences that they want, whether it's a concert, it's a vacation. I want to give my kids as many experiences as they can have. And as we started doing that for them and listening to you and finding out the younger generation is all about experiences, I'm like, yeah, that's where I am too. I don't spare an expense now when it comes to some sort of experience that I want to do, because I want to see what this is all about. I want to have that opportunity. Like, nothing makes me more jealous than Alex swimming with the dolphins. I'm not kidding.
Oh, yes, I know.
How
I want to do that.
Cool would that be? What a great experience to do something like that, right? You went to Spain. I am so envious of that experience that you got. I talked to a buddy of mine yesterday. He's getting ready to go to Spain and Portugal. I'm like, damn.
Dude.
He's like, I'll send you a scouting report. I'm like, I need that. I want to go Spain. Like, experiences, man. That sounds so cool to go out there and do something like that. And the reason I bring this up is because as we see the international games being, placed out there, Jacksonville has tweeted their, international games out. And they're playing back-to-back weeks in London. And we know they're doing the stadium, redo down there now. So there's some, movement that can happen. And they've never really had a great fan base down there in Jacksonville. So they were willing to go over there and be the guinea pig and play a couple of games over there every single year. But I got to be honest with you. This kind of looks like a cool experience, Mac. I'm not going to lie. 2 weeks in a row in London. You stay there for a week, basically, and you experience London for a week, which is an experience I've been telling you about. I want to do.
You have, yeah.
I want to go and immerse myself for a week in London and
Be
just
sick.
live there and
That'd be awesome.
just do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Right? I don't know why. I just think it would be cool. And then to have back-to-back games where you watch a team play the Eagles in Tottenham, and then you go the next week to see them play the Texans in Wembley, that I think would be a cool experience.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's Jacksonville. But so what? They're going to be a pretty good
I was
team.
going to say they'd be better. Yeah.
Right? They're going to be a pretty good team this year.
Fun players.
And they've got their kind of mark in London. That's kind of become London's team.
Yeah.
But how cool of an experience would that be? Not to go watch Jacksonville or Houston or Philadelphia, but just to have that experience of being there all week and watching those two games and having what that final experience is like of seeing our major sport being played on the international stage. Because I think it's going to be really cool, man. I think that would be really cool to do that. And if the Chiefs were playing, I'd want to go do that too. I
my
do.
gosh, yes, that would be fantastic. And yeah, I would do this even with the Jags. I think just that sort of experience, immersing yourself in that culture. I will say it'd be fun to do that even if the football team wasn't there. I would love to just go to London for a week.
Like,
Yeah,
this
no matter
gives
what.
you that reason
Exactly.
to go.
It gives you that whole excuse. And also, it's going to give you seeing football in another country would be kind of cool just to see, all right, how does their culture go about it? We know how it is here in Kansas City. It's life or death. It's everything. I'm kind of curious to see how it would be there. How's the tailgating? Is there tailgating? What do they do? I don't know. It'd be fun.
Well, all these stadiums in these cities are in the city. You know, the cities have spruced up around them. I'm sure there's a lot of beer that gets drank at these pubs outside the stadiums, and everybody has a good time. I mean, I remember when the Chiefs went over there. I remember images of Clark pouring beers out of the tap and doing all that kind of stuff. So they have their party time. They do it. You know, you look at these soccer stadiums too, and I know Speck got to do that. Another experience that I would like to do. I'm not a huge EPL fan, but Ryan and I from Cactus have talked about going over there, just going to a game because we want to have that experience. You know, we want to see that. Spectre got to do that. These stadiums that these teams play in, they're like in the middle of these villages, and you walk up to the stadium like there's no tailgating because there's no cars.
There's no, yeah, exactly. Just
I
people
wonder if they know
walking.
what tailgating is over
Like,
there.
what are you doing? Yeah.
Honest to God, I wonder if in Europe, if you said, "Are you guys going to tailgate before the game?" they have any idea what we're talking
What are you
about.
doing?
Tailgate.
Go to the pub and have a
Walk
beer.
to the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is true.
The whole way of experiencing sports differently through the lens of the locals, you know, it's fun, it's different, it's unique, and so I think that would be really a cool experience. All right, you're down bad, man. Like, you are down
Dude,
bad. What happened to you yesterday?
This took me into a nightmarish past experience. I think honestly that Bengals loss in the AFC Championship is up there, but this loss, I was just 15, 16 years old. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings. I had just gotten my license, at least maybe in the last year. So it was still, I remember it still being cool to drive places by myself. So I was with my oldest brother, Sean. I was meeting him and probably some of his buddies to watch this game at B-Dubs. And I remember being like, this is cool. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to watch this Chiefs game. It's going to be awesome. Screw Peyton Manning. Screw the Broncos. And man, it was tied. It was going to go to overtime. Then this happened.
Oh, it's down. Ball is out. It is picked up by the Broncos. Roby, and he's in the end zone for an unbelievable touchdown.
27-27. We run a draw just to waste the rest of the clock. It's 20-something seconds left in the game. And Bradley Roby picks it up off of a Jamal Charles, my favorite Chief of all time at the time and still now, picks up a Jamal Charles fumble off a draw and takes it to the house. And then they cut to Peyton Manning smiling, who I didn't hate an athlete more at that time as a child. And I just remember sobbing and walking out of that B-Dubs. Sean didn't even get to say a word to me. I was just left crying. I was just so upset, but that's how emotional I was back in the day. So
yeah, and that's a regular season game. That's your that's a game in September. And as the caption says, last time the Broncos won at Arrowhead in September. What were the Chiefs doing on that play, by the way?
Yeah, why are we
it's tied
doing
at
that?
24 with 30 seconds left, and you're at your own 20-yard line.
Yeah, 24-24. Thank you.
What are we doing in that situation? Are we just running out the clock?
Yeah,
I mean, if
just go
so,
to a
take a knee
knee
at that point in time. That's Alex Smith, right?
Yeah,
so that's an
Alex
Andy
Smith.
team.
Yeah, that was Andy. No, that was Andy. That was 2015.
That was 2015.
Right?
And the next night, I think the Royals did something we all forgot about that game. If I'm not mistaken, like that was an early game, and the Royals were on their run.
You're right.
Because I'm looking at this 2015, I'm like, oh, that's the year they started 1-5. and then ripped off 11 in a row.
Yes.
So that was the beginning of that season. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, oh, I do vaguely remember that. Oh, 2015, we were focused elsewhere.
Yeah, we weren't exactly locked in.
Nobody really cared at that point in time what was going on, at Arrowhead because of what was going on at Kauffman Stadium at that time. But I think if you're talking about, like, for you, that's like the worst loss. To me, the worst loss is pretty simple. It's the Indy playoff loss. I mean, you're up 28-0 in that game or whatever it was, and ended up losing, that football game. That's hard to do, guys.
It's
Seriously,
literally
it's very impressive that they still lost that game. It's one of the more impressive things I've ever seen, actually. Quite honestly, it is. It's one of the more impressive. How you blow a 28-point lead in the second half or whatever. Unbelievable. Just an unbelievable game. But when we had Marlins man on yesterday, and we were talking to him, he brought up that Pittsburgh game. And that was one, too, that was like, that's just the stank of the Chiefs at that point in time, right? That's where the see, I told you guy could come out of the woodwork and be right. We didn't give up a damn touchdown and lost a damn game. How? Well,
we're the Chiefs, so we figure out ways to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just get used to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get used to that. But that stank should be gone now because
it's gone.
You should
Don't
not
talk
have
about
that.
that.
You should not have that stank anymore when you are now a Chiefs fan because of all the good stuff that has taken place.
And that was from the text line. That was also the game that Eric Berry returned, which I forgot about that. That was the game Eric Berry came back for. So yeah, a lot of people remembering that game. 785 says I was there for that game. Then he also says people were yelling F Jamal leaving the stadium. That's too bad. But also that fumble sucks. The 816 says that exact Jamal Charles fumble sent me into a 2-day bender.
Yeah. And look how far we've come.
Exactly right. Damn
Seriously,
right.
look how far we've come since that Jamal Charles fumble. That was really the last time them Broncos have been relevant.
Yep.
Up until this year, They had a 10-year gap where they were an irrelevant franchise. Everybody goes through those ebbs and flows, right? That's why you have to maximize the winning and try to minimize those losing seasons for as much as you possibly can. You never want to be in the middle of one of those losing seasons. They stink. They're awful. They're no good. I was having lunch yesterday, I told you, with my mentor, Mike McKenzie, and his daughter joined us, and they both had the chili at Maloney's. Very, very good chili. They raved about the chili. It was also 80 degrees. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need the chili today.
Yeah, not today.
So I texted Rob. I said, the Hormel was good, man. I kid. But they love the chili. They're like, I got to have the chili at Maloney's. Got to have the chili. I'm like, all right, I'll have the chili, eventually at some point.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of talking about just sports and, and all that kind of stuff in general. And I want to ask you this question, and you guys on the text line this question, and I want you to answer it for me because, again, it's one of these questions and topics of conversation. I'm not really sure how I would answer it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just such a thought-provoking, I think anyway, type of conversation. And we were talking about, the transfer portal. And I will say this. I feel like, and maybe it's because I went there and I know people there and all that kind of stuff and we're here, but it feels like KU fans are down bad, right? With this portal stuff. I'm not going to be able to root for my team anymore. I miss my guys. I miss the, Jacques and Paul and Rafe and Drew and all those guys that we used to rally around and form bonds with, right? You can get in on this conversation because you went to the University of Tennessee, and I'm sure you at that time had those bonds with maybe your football or basketball team. It seems like in college, the bonds happen for fans. They want to bond with those players, right?
Yes.
And so that's obviously not going to be the case anymore, right? We're not bonding with these players. But it just seems KU fans are down bad from that kind of experience. We'd love to watch them come in as freshmen and grow together. I mean, I was talking to Marlins man again yesterday. He's like, man, Frank Mason played 4 years and Sharon Collins played 4 years.
Love
and,
Sharon Collins.
where's that anymore in college sports? And I'm like, yeah, it's gone.
It
It's
sucks.
just...
That part is sad.
It's just the way of the world. And I stole the old Seinfeld reference of we're just cheering for laundry. At the end of the day, we're cheering for laundry. And that was like the late 80s, early 90s before we had all of this transient type stuff happening in sports. A couple of free agents here or there, but it wasn't like it is today. But I want to know this. And I think I think maybe it would change your dynamic, but maybe not. How would you consume sports if the portal was the pros? And every year, 50% of your roster was turning over and guys were getting out and leaving and doing whatever they wanted. How would you feel if that all of a sudden came to the pros, which is where everybody at the end of every season is essentially a free agent? I don't know that we would have the same sports fandom that we have
I don't
now.
think we would.
I think it would be hard to do that.
I agree. I mean, I'm just thinking about me personally. I mean, Jamal Charles. I mean, I mentioned him in that story. I mean, that was my favorite Chief. If he were to only be there for a couple years and then leave, I wouldn't have that connection.
Right.
I wouldn't have bought his jersey. I wouldn't have 2 signed little helmets of it. I wouldn't have grown this connection and this infatuation.
And he helped you grow for the team.
100%. Oh man, I learned everything. He was my entry point, right? He was my entry point. Obviously Tony G, but then I fell in love with Jamal Charles. He was my guy and made me fall in love with Derek Johnson. I wanted to learn about all of our new draft picks, and it made me fall in love with the city too, if you really want to talk about it, because that's what sports does. It makes you fall in love with just more than that. We talked about that yesterday. It's more than just sports.
Yeah.
And Jamal Charles, yes, gave me that infatuation with the Chiefs, which made me fall in love with them even more. And then that segued and parlayed into a love of Kansas City, so much so that I made sure me and my future wife moved back here and raised a family here.
Okay, so would you have a different way? Would you still be a sports fan the way that you are? And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to the collective of all of us.
Yeah, of course.
Again, and I'm working through this because I don't know what the right answer is again. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather have the discussion and have the conversation about how we would do this, because we were talking about it yesterday. Could you imagine in the pros if every year there was the portal and players could just enter the portal if they want? Now, I think over 50% of college basketball players entered the portal this year, right? I think 52% or something was the number. Could you imagine 52% of baseball players every year entering the portal or entering in the NFL? 52% of the players every year changing teams? I mean, there would be a lot of people that would take a chance and not get rewarded, because I don't think everybody that goes into the portal is finding a new home at this point in time, and they're sure as hell not going back usually to where they came from. So I think if they did this in the pros, it would be a completely different beast. And I don't think it would be good for the pros. And I don't know how long necessarily it's going to be great for college either. There's going to have to be some rules and regulations finally put in. And we were talking about it yesterday. 2-year contracts.
Yep. I'm in on that.
1 transfer.
Great.
Unless your coach leaves.
Unless your coach leaves, you get another one.
It's not that hard.
On that. Yeah, that makes sense. That's perfect.
It's not that hard.
And
it
frankly,
really isn't.
4 years, let's say 5 with a red shirt or whatever, you don't need to go to more than max 3 schools. And also,
that was the other part of our conversation. Who was the kid that played for Kansas that everybody fell in love with? Malcolm Gibson?
Melvin Council.
Yeah, right. That guy. And my buddy Mike's like, I think this is for school. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's at some point, it's okay, you've been here for 5 or 6 years. You've been to 4 different schools in 5 years. It's also and I know this is going to get some eye rolls, but I do somewhat believe this. I think we have almost a responsibility to, yes, we should pay these athletes because they aren't student athletes. They are athletes. They make a crap load of money for these schools and these universities and all the businesses and everything. Mm-hmm. So they should be paid. But we also have a right to...
That's a fair point, too. I didn't even think about that. How many businesses in town are just making ancillary dollars because people are coming to watch these kids play?
Yeah.
They're going to Bill's Cafe afterwards for dinner.
Of course. Yeah, they're flying to Utah to see A.J. DeBanda, whatever it is, right? So I think we have a responsibility, though, to these young players to say, hey, your decisions matter. Your consequences in life, there's consequences in life to your big decisions that you make, whether that's a job or a relationship or whatever it may be. You can't just worry about, there's going to be ripple effects. So worry about yourself, but other things are going to happen and we're going to react to that. So when you choose to leave, you can't just go somewhere else. You have to stick with what you did. You made a commitment. Mm-hmm. I think that's a valuable lesson we teach these 18 and 19-year-old kids.
I think you're right. I think that is a pretty good lesson. And that's why I want to have it more than 1 year. If you sign, let's say the Jayhawks signed Darren Peterson last year, and they had to be 2-year deals, and he wanted to leave early. Well, then the NBA's got to write a check to Kansas to buy him out, just like you have to do with coaches and that kind of stuff, right?
And that would be the team that drafts him, right? Not the NBA.
Right. Yeah, the team that drafts him.
So the Wizards or whatever say, all right, we're paying KU $5 million. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the way it works.
That makes sense.
You have to be bought out of your contract.
Yes.
And so that's the way that works. And that forces you to make a better decision. It forces the kids to stay a little bit longer, the ability to build the team, the ability to give, I think, Mac, and not, this is not always the best way to do it, but I think if you make them sign a 2-year contract, you're giving the best of both worlds. The players are still able to make money, and the fans are still able to kind of form a relationship and develop that team bond that they wanted and they want back. And I think it is the college fan more that wants to bond with their team, maybe more so than in the pros. It just feels that way, maybe because people perceive them as kids more than the pros. But I think that's the way you can have the best of both scenarios. You give the players what they want to get paid, and you give the fans what they want, the ability to at least see these guys for a couple of years, and I think everybody wins. And I think you'd have a hard time finding people to complain about something like that. 2-year contract, 1 transfer, unless your coach leaves and then you get another transfer. It's not that hard. Let's make it that easy and everybody wins, I think anyway.
I agree, and I also think some of the biggest things we like in sports, to your point, is like, yes, it's the familiarity, it's that building that bond, but then after that bond and all that stuff's built, you built a legacy as well. And what fuels our sports conversation so much? It's talking about what's already happened. It's having arguments about the future and the legacy of someone. How do you have a legacy if you go to 3 different schools in 3 years? Like, it's just tough to build something like that each time you're starting anew. And we always talk about new offensive coordinators in the NFL and having to relearn a new language is the way you always put it.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, man, you're going to a whole new school with a new coach and new players, a new camp. I mean, forget new language. That's a new life.
Yeah.
That's insane. And at 18, 19 years old, I just feel like we're losing this consistency. I think it's hurt not only the product on a wide scale for college basketball, but it's hurt individually. It's hurt these players. I don't think you can develop as well.
I think it's helping football, though, because it is keeping football players in school, which is it's forcing basketball players out of school, but it's keeping football players in school. Because, again, having a conversation yesterday, you're Mac Morey. You are a very good football player at the University of Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Okay, did that on purpose. Okay.
Dang it.
You are this really good football player out of the University of Alabama. You just finished your junior year. You got some people talking to you. They're in your ear. They're saying, hey, man,
I'm the QB.
You could be a 3rd-round draft pick in the draft this year if you come out early.
Nice.
And you look around and you go, I'm making more right now at Alabama than what a 3rd-round draft pick is going to make in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm in college.
I'm staying.
Sorry.
I am going to stay. Get bent. And so you're going to see guys stay in college a little bit longer, give you another year of development, and then once they get to the NFL isn't drafting kids anymore that are 21 years old. Now you're getting a guy that's 22 or 23 years old who has another a year of experience of playing the college level.
Yeah.
That's better for the pros.
It's way better.
It's so much better. Think about baseball. Baseball's the one that could hurt. We may see the talent level in baseball actually go down because what the SEC is paying these guys, or the Big 12 is paying these guys now, letters of intent, NIL money, National Image and Likeness, whatever it's called.
Name, image, likeness,
yep. You're getting more money at these colleges now and better facilities and better treatment than you are when you get drafted. And so kids are going to stay in college. They're going to make some NIL money. And I've heard from scouts all over baseball, there's a lot of kids right now that have made $4 or $5 million playing in the SEC. They're good.
Yeah, they're great.
Good. They're not going to go to the minor leagues and toil in Bozeman, Montana, and ride a bus to Kalamazoo, Michigan,
and make way less.
And make $25 a day or whatever it is. When I was just playing in the SEC, I played 4 years. I made $4 or $5 million. It's in the bank, and I'm going to go work in finance in Dallas.
Yeah. I'm going to call it good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take that because baseball is the toughest sport probably to make the majors. I'm not going to take that 1% chance to crawl my way up in AA and then the AAA.
Right.
I've got 5 in the bank, and I'm going to just go, yeah, I get that. That's a good point. That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
I've got this money. I'm not riding on a school bus through the night to go play in a wood bat league in Pocatello, Idaho. Like, that's just not there anymore.
No.
You've made your money in college. Yeah, $4 or $5 million. Maybe you could make more money in the pros, but at what cost? And how much money are you leaving on the table by not starting your finance career or whatever you want to do immediately after college? Yeah, you can go play baseball, make $20,000 or something for the summer.
Yeah.
Ride buses, put yourself in a slump, feel miserable, or you can just go get a real job. You know, so I think baseball may be the one that starts to see some of the talent pool dissipate a little bit because the college kids are going to be making some big money. Because, as you know, Mac, you went to an SEC baseball school. It's important down there.
Big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to kids that play at Arkansas, and then they go to their first minor league gig.
You're like, what? Where's everybody?
Yeah, Arkansas is like this unbelievable, and then you're going to these, and it's like such a letdown. I would imagine
it's not an event. It's not something that people.
It's like
are
the only
talking
sport
about.
that doesn't get more exciting when you get to the pros.
It's true. Yeah, it probably gets way late. Yeah, it's such a letdown. That's true. You've got to like temper your expectations and be patient. Man, it's obviously such a mental game, baseball, but
Sure.
I've never thought about it from that perspective. Man, that would suck. I don't know what it is about basketball specifically. I think it's just the sport itself that it gives these players the false thought that, I can go change something. There's only 5 players on the court. I can score 20 I can go be the reason that we go win, so these guys move more. Maybe that's why it is. But in baseball and football, you're right. They're staying longer in college, but they're not moving teams as much as basketball. It's not.
Basketball is just out of control.
And I just think I don't know. I mean, I know it's money and stuff, and this is happening in the NBA. These guys just maybe think because of the way the sport is, I can go change. I can go change this team. Or I can go win over here.
Yeah, it's
less
also,
factors. I don't know.
It's also the grass is greener syndrome. You feel like you're missing out if you're not doing it. We're talking about all the people in the portal, not the people who decide to stay, There's some people that have decided to stay at their. We're not talking about them. We're talking portal. It gets the attention. It's the drug, if you will, of college athletes these days.
Yep,
everybody talking about it. And who doesn't want to be recruited and loved? Wouldn't you love to say, "Hey, I'm available. Come up, make me your best offer."
And then people actually did it.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Because we're back in our saying, "We're available. Come make us your best offer." Nobody shows up.
And no one cares.
Nobody cares, right? But if you're a basketball player at the college level, you say, make me, and all of a sudden you feel that love. You get that dopamine high of everybody loving on you.
No, I'm sure like Flory Badunga felt awesome those couple weeks. When
Yeah.
everyone was courting him, and he's the best center in college. He's like, damn, this feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
I get it.
People
Yeah.
want to be loved. People want to be liked. People want to feel good. And if somebody's begging you to come and they're telling you how great they are, who doesn't need, again, I'll use the dopamine high. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that shot of adrenaline? We've all had that before. You've all had that high when somebody's done something good for you, or somebody's nice to you, or somebody helps you. You feel great. You're like, wow, that made me feel awesome. Think about going around the country and having all the top coaches call you and tell you how good you are.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, we got one guy that is all in on the Chiefs. We'll tell you who that is next.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control need to come to your house, right? They need to fix your yard, and they need to put that mosquito dome over the top of your house like we have as well. And that's what I love the summer. I love sitting outside. We love our patio. We love watching the dog run around the yard. But we also know that if we don't have the mosquito dome, there's a chance for fleas and ticks and mosquitoes and all that stuff that we don't want. So we get the mosquito dome put up. It keeps out all the bugs, all the fleas, all the ticks. Our dog is safe, and we can enjoy our backyard and our front yard. And after Aspen did all of this work, we want to sit outside and enjoy the stuff that they were able to create for us, because they took our yard and turned it into a masterpiece. It was dirt. It was weeds. It was nothing. And Aspen came out and went, we'll make it something. And they did. The college-educated professionals know everything about growing in the best lawns here in Kansas City. Right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So you want to visit them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Oh, the weather outside is beautiful. We are at a great point of the sports calendar
We just concluded with the draft. We got baseball going on. We got the playoffs going on right now in basketball and hockey. And you know what? Golf season is in full swing. And let me tell you that right now, all FanDuel customers can get two, not one, but two 30% profit boosts to use before the golf tournament begins this week. Use them on top finishes, top 5, top 10, top 20, and more. And back the golfers you think will be in the mix come Sunday, because in a tournament like this, it's not just about who wins, it's about who stays near the top. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started today and get two 30% boosts to use during the golf tournament this week. It's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is with non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and from changing seasons to unpredictable road conditions, having solid auto insurance gives you real peace of mind. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers dependable protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that's always there for you. And when you bundle policies or insure multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side Olathe, 35 northbound, just crawling. Accident past Santa Fe. It's got 2 lanes blocked. Delays back to around Lone Elm Road. 435 southbound, still pretty heavy from Holiday Drive down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with an accident in the construction zone. 70 eastbound, off again, on again heavy from College Parkway in towards 635 with road work and an accident there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
All right, bro, get over to the microphone and open it, and I want your reaction when I read this stat. All right? You ready?
Hit me.
All right. It's from FanDuel, and it says the NBA won't be the same without LeBron James. And it's 2 pictures of LeBron. And it says LeBron James as a human, okay, his whole life as a human being. 23 years in the NBA, 18 not.
23 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's played more years in the NBA in his life than he hasn't. I mean, my God, how cool is that?
That's so cool.
How awesome is that?
Wow. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. By 5 years.
Yeah, by 5 years. I hope he
so
keeps
cool.
going just for that. Like that. That's the stuff that gets me excited.
amazing.
You know, like that's really cool. Those are the stats that I like.
God, dude.
This
Yeah,
guy-
that's incredible. What a spectacle. That's amazing.
I mean, we talk a lot of crap on LeBron James.
Yes, we do.
And he is as disrespected an athlete as there's ever been.
True.
And I do believe that's not hyperbole.
No, I completely agree.
LeBron James is the most disrespected athlete of all time. And I'm guilty as that. We all are.
Oh, same.
He's
big time guilty.
He's disrespected not because of who he is. He's disrespected because of number 23.
Yeah, because of the standard that was set before him. Yes,
right. And trying to live up to that. I hope we don't get into that category with Patrick Mahomes.
I know. Probably will. Probably already are.
And are you talking nationally? Or are you talking
Nationally,
locally?
nationally,
because,
we already are, yeah.
I mean, like, again, look, we love LeBron puts himself out there. He's very present all the time. He has comments on everything. Like, LeBron has owned who he is, and I love him for that. Like, I really do. I'm a huge fan of LeBron James. It's the only NBA jersey I've ever purchased.
Oh, there we go.
You know?
Cavs or
Cavs. Oh,
nice.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back then, yeah.
You know, because my in-laws were from Cleveland. So I'm like, oh, okay, LeBron.
LeBron James,
got an
why not?
opportunity,
Come on.
you know, right?
Yes,
It's cool,
you got a
it's
connection.
fun, right? So, but 23 years in the NBA as a player, as a person, 18 years of his life not in the NBA. 23 years of his life in the NBA, 18 years of his life out of the NBA. It's
cool.
crazy. It shows you how big a figure he is and shows you how much he has done, you know, for this league. It's wild, man. And that's what I'm saying. I hope we don't get there with Patrick Mahomes where we are not because I will never disrespect that man. But people, you know, nationally, you know, the FanDuel account that we saw today or whoever puts tweets out, not that FanDuel's respect, that's a great tweet. I love that tweet by FanDuel. It is the NBA won't be the same without LeBron
tweet.
James.
Yes, sorry.
LeBron James is a human. 23 years in the NBA, 18 years not in the NBA. What
Great
the hell
tweet.
was that? But I hope we don't start to see that kind of stuff on Patrick Mahomes, you know, where people are like, well, he wasn't Tom Brady. Yeah, you know, all that kind of stuff. I hope we don't get to that level where we're disrespecting him.
Seriously.
Right?
No, I'm so in on that. That is such a cool stat. And to think that it's not even like he's a bench player and he doesn't play. Like, he's a starter. He's still really good. He's still conducive to winning basketball.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
It is, man. It is unique. It is awesome. We got a guy that's on our side, right, when it comes to the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about how hype we are about this Chiefs team and how people are sleeping. Kirk, he's not asleep.
I'm excited about Kansas City. I think it's almost as if people have maybe felt that that's the end, you know, because of the injury to Mahomes, because of some of the losses that they've had. You know, is it time for Kansas City's story to be over? And I don't think it is. I think anytime you question Patrick Mahomes, you know, he's going to come out swinging. And I think that's kind of how it is right now with where Kansas City is.
Kirk
He's
gets
right.
it. Yeah.
He's right. Like, everybody who has watched this play out in front of us for these last 10 years is on that Kirk Herbstreit bandwagon. I think the only people, quite honestly, that are doubting Mahomes are the haters and losers. And those are Bronco, Raiders, and Charger fans. They're all haters and losers, every one of them. Yeah. And those are the ones who are saying, because they're not using fact by saying it, they're saying it out of hope. Hey, Mahomes isn't going to be there. And they go, I hope this guy isn't there.
Yes, it's that guy in the movie who's like, I'm standing up to the big boy, and then he gets back to his friends. He talks about how he was about to pee his pants or whatever. Like, that's what's happening right now with the division rivals. And maybe even Bills, very hopeful, I'm sure, that this is over. And
I've talked to Jimmy Gaffney a lot over this. He's not mentioning a thing about Mahomes. He's like, I know that guy will be back. The Bills fans get it. Bills fans are us.
Keep his name out of your mouth.
Yeah, no, but Bills fans are us, guys. We're the same people. You know, Midwestern town. Yes, Buffalo is the Midwest. It's closer to us than it is New York City. Midwestern, grassroots, you know, blue collar, work hard, want our team to win, didn't have success until recently. Buffalo ain't out there talking trash on us. They're out there kind of quiet going, all right, could happen to us too. We could lose our guy. We're not going to, I don't think Buffalo is playing in that. I think the people who are playing in the Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be back are the Denver fans first and foremost, followed by Charger, that one guy that's a Charger fan that they paid, and then the Raiders fans as well, because they know they're not quite ready to win just yet.
I think a lot of the doubt will not be coming in Mahomes' form. I think most people, even guys that I know that aren't Chiefs fans, that are Chiefs haters, they know who Mahomes is. They're not doubting that. But I think a lot of people, the doubt will be coming from a roster standpoint. Like, oh, well, come on, that defensive line, you know, you kept the same wide receivers and you lost those two corners. What are you going to do? Who's Noel Williams? Like, that's going to be it. Sure. It's going to take a month to go, oh, wait, Noel Williams is really good. That's their new L'Jarius Sneed. Oh, Monshore Delane, wow, maybe Mitch Holtis. He does kind of look like Pat Surtain. And now all of a sudden, it's going to take a month. But I think that's where a lot of the doubt is, like, who are these guys? I don't know who Peter Woods is. Well, he's the best defensive lineman in the draft in 2025, and Clemson sucked, and he dropped.
Right. And I think that's the right approach for all of us, quite honestly. I mean, we don't really know the ins and outs of every team, right? You know, and that's why we have bad beats. That's why people get beat all the time when you don't take the general public side of things. Because what you just said right there is the brilliant reason why, Mac, you don't side with the general public when it comes to gambling. Because what you just said there may be the most important thing for the gambler to hear. We think we know, but we don't.
Yeah.
And if somebody's putting money on the Chiefs right now with that 10.5 number, I guarantee you outside of our area, they're looking at that going, there's no way they're going to win 11 games this year. Mahomes is hurt. They have no wide receivers. Who do they have on defense? I'll take the under.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to pound that under because of this. This is how it happens. Because at the end of the day, unless you're a diehard of your team, right, which we all are, you're just a casual sports fan for everybody else. And you really don't know the nuances. And so for me, when I look at it, and I look at the 10.5, I'm a hard over on that because I know exactly what the Chiefs did and how they got better. I look at Denver and on the surface area stuff, I'm like, they didn't do anything this offseason to get better. But there may be some fans in Denver that are like, oh, my God, we added this guy. We improved this position. We got better here. Stuff that we just don't follow because it's the minutia. It's the 52nd man on the roster or whatever it is. But here in Kansas City, we know all about that. So that's where I think, you get the gambling public is because they don't focus on all of that stuff that we're focused on here in Kansas City.
Yep.
Coming up, we're going to talk to the manager of the Royals. Matt Quatraro joins us next.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, here we go, folks. We got a couple of days left for you to take advantage of the CertaPro Painters big-time spring sales event that ends on May 15th. That's Friday. A couple of days left to save 10% off of all of your home painting projects, whether that's the inside of your house or the outside. Don't wait on that much-needed painting. You can trust the professionals at CertaPro Painters. These guys are awesome. They're all locally based right here in Kansas City, and they all have 70,000 five-star reviews that make the process worry-free. And it starts with a detailed estimate, and it follows up with a great paint job that you're going to be so proud of. Walk around the outside of your house. You see that paint? It's peeling, right? It's time. Call CertaPro. And it's time because you're going to save money now. You're going to save 10% on your painting job if you get it scheduled before May 15th. So get that job scheduled today. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro.
At Telly Tire, when it comes to car problems, we've heard it all. From tires to timing belts to faulty air conditioning. Ooh. At Telly Tire and Auto Centers, we've been fixing problems like these and customers' bad days for over 80 years. So relax and take it to Telly. Schedule your service at TellyTire.com.
Spring is here, and if you're still feeling exhausted with no energy and no sex drive, it may be time to head to the Low T Center. 1 in 4 men has low testosterone, and at the Low T Center, you can book your free testosterone test to see if you qualify for TRT customized to your body by expert providers. Choose self-pay or insurance. You can even have your treatment shipped to your door. Low T Center has got some of the highest quality testosterone, and the providers tailor it to you so you know it's effective. Put the spring back in your step. Head to lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com and book your TRT appointment today.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Liberty Mutual, customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
This is the story of the one.
As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side, 35 northbound unwinding heading into Olathe. Still heavy, though, from about Lone Elm Road up past 151st Street. Another slow spot lingers around Santa Fe. 635 both directions heavy approaching the state line with construction down to one lane both ways. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Look out for Max Minute on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Back at it on a glorious Wednesday morning. It is time to talk to our guy, Matt Quatraro, Royals manager. And I will have to say this, Dusty is off. He is on vacation. Mac is in. And you have the best seat in the house right now to watch what Bobby Witt's doing. I mean, do you just sit back and just laugh and smile and go, my God, this guy is just awesome to watch. And he's gone.
Let me call him back.
I didn't touch the phone either.
I know that's happened twice.
I did not touch the phone.
Must be the phones. And let me call him back.
I did not touch that telephone. I am not going to touch that phone. I know I can't work that telephone, so I'm not going to touch that phone. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but we'll get Matt Quatraro back on here in just 1 second as we get set to talk to the manager losing last night to the Chicago White Sox. Game 2 tonight up in Chicago on the south side, and it's time to get a win and figure out what's going to happen with Salvador Perez moving forward, all of that kind of good stuff. But I want to start out and talk about you getting the best seat in the house, my man. I think all of Kansas City and maybe the baseball world is jealous. You're sitting there watching Bobby Witt do these things over the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't even know what to say and what to ask you, Matt, because it's so remarkable to watch this guy, you know?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, and it's honestly something that, you tell yourself every day, like, you don't take this for granted. Don't take this for granted. 29 other teams would are very envious of having a guy like Bobby in our lineup. And when you say a guy like Bobby, it's like there is only one, yep. Right? So, there's plenty of people that I've run into already this year. People with different organizations that watch from different angles and like, man, you get to see this every day. Like seriously, they do make comments like that. So you understand how special it is, and it's a generational talent and an even better person. So it's a very special spot for us and for the people at Kansas City.
I mean, isn't that cool, though, to have other people in the game come up to you who are like these crusty veterans that have seen it all and be like, man, this guy's good. It shows you how good he is.
No question. Yeah. And again, I mean, we get to see it too. So yeah. The proof is there right in front of your face. And, and I think what's really exciting is he's pushing himself to get better and better. So I don't know that we've even seen the height of his abilities.
Is there something specific about his game that gets your jaw dropped? Because some people, it's the glove, the diving catches, it's the speed, natural ability at the plate. Is there something that you regularly go, damn?
Yeah, I mean, well, he makes the defensive plays look easier than they are. I mean, that's the appreciation for what he's doing. You know, like everybody sees that he dives and makes that play, but, you know, when everything's happening so quickly on the field, you don't realize how many times that ball would get by someone else, or those pop-ups that he runs back to catch in the outfield, or the arm strength once you make the diving catch to get up and make an accurate throw. Like that one last night was a perfect example on Grichuk. Like he made the dive look pretty routine, but then the calmness and the ability to get up and make a strong, accurate throw, that's just not that, it's just not that easy. And we do get to see that on the offensive side. You know, there's very few people that hit the ball like he does as far as low and hard, you know, driving the ball to all fields. You know, and a lot of times when people, even in the dugout, when they see him hit a ball like that, they'll yell 2-iron, you know, like that's what it looks like when somebody hits a low line drive with a 2-iron with a, you know, playing golf. So you just don't see guys do it the way he does.
Is he the greatest player you've coached?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the physical component to it, I mean, the speed, the power, the defense, everything we're talking about is, you know, you just don't see people like him around very often.
That's why I'm like, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's like when he made that play yesterday, that diving stop, I'm not kidding. I'm sitting there, I'm going, that's an easy one for Bobby. Like, that's where I am at this point in time. It's like, it's in that Patrick Mahomes mentality where he does something and you're like, whoa, but you're not surprised because that's who they are, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, you almost come to expect it, but at the same time, you don't take it for granted. So it is a very unique spot.
How's Salvi doing? Is he healthy? Is he you know, ready to go? Like, because it went 11 days without being behind the plate. What's the update on him?
Yeah, last night was really encouraging. You know, we did that intentionally, obviously, to give him a little breather from the physical aspect of catching on his hips and everything, and we did the best we could. And I think last night, coming out of that game, he felt good. Now, look, he's not going to be 100%, you know, from hips that have been bothering him, and you know, the years and years of pounding and catching. It's physically taxing, but you know, he manages a lot of things physically, as a lot of these guys do, to play every day, and he's willed himself to that, and he'll continue to do that. But that last night was really encouraging from a standpoint of how he felt after the game, and also, you know, what he was able to do at the plate.
Yeah, it was big, I thought, to see him get that home run early on. Kind of a, I don't want to use the term sigh of relief. It's a regular season game. It wasn't a playoff type of moment, but I could feel kind of that sigh of relief for myself anyway to watch Salvi do that, because there's nothing worse, Matt, than watching a guy get old before your eyes, especially a hero like Salvador Perez. And so you never want to admit that Father Time may be knocking on that door, you know? And so he hit that home run last night. I'm like, yeah, there you go, Salvi.
I mean, we're going to see offense from him. You know, he's been through a rough go of it. You know, the physical component, I think, has something to do with it. But overall, we know, I mean, we're not, you know, this last September, he's hitting his 30th homer and driving in 100 runs. I mean, he can still hit, and he's going to be a big part of this offense as we get going.
Is there any pressure from him, maybe, that you've noticed trying to catch George with those 8 home runs and be that team leader?
I don't think so. I mean, you know, he needs to play. You know, he knows he's not going to get them all in a week or 2 weeks. You know, I mean, we don't talk about that at all. I mean, he's been so good at that kind of stuff, at compartmentalizing and not worrying about records and milestones and those kinds of things, because really, truthfully, about all he really wants to do is win. Yeah. And when he focuses on that and he throws it, once the game starts and he's competing, because he's an ultimate competitor, that's all he cares about, is what he can do right now to help us win.
Now, in Salvi's absence behind the dish, we've gotten to see more Carter Jensen and a couple of hiccups here and there, whether it's a missed tag or missed throw out, but we've also seen some really good moments. How important are those kind of hiccups and growing moments to a young player like Jensen?
Yeah, exceptionally important. You know, and I think, you know, what those things stand out, but what also stands out to us is, I mean, he's received the ball very well. His relationships with the pitchers have grown really, really strong. The work he's done at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, working on not only his game, but also game calling, understanding what each pitcher wants, because that's the big challenge in the big leagues as a young catcher is you have 13 pitchers. And, in our case, the starters, most of them are veterans and they have a certain way that they want things. And that is not just a plug and play like, oh, I got this figured out. That takes work and it takes time. And his day is very structured to understand, whether he has to go catch bullpens or go to the meetings or do his own prep work through video for the other team. Like, there are a lot of demands on him. And I think he's learning that. And the only way to learn it is through the experience of doing it.
I think also, too, in the way you're talking has got me thinking a little bit like the offensive coordinator-quarterback relationship in the NFL. Like, they need to know what each other's doing. They need to be in sync. I feel like the catcher now has like 5 different offensive coordinators, and everybody wants something different. I never really thought about how difficult a job that can be, especially for a young guy dealing with 5 completely different personalities on the mound. And by the way, there's 13 guys in the bullpen that are going to want something different, too,
No question. And I think, we're set up to be able to help him with that. I mean, we have very good coaches that, break down different areas of the game, whether it's the physical components of catching or the mental aspect of understanding what our pitcher's strengths are, or what the opposing hitter's weaknesses are, and then trying to figure out on each day what's the most important thing for him to concentrate on. And we try to vary that based on his physical and the toll that has been on him. Last week he caught several days, then he didn't catch Sunday. Monday was an off day. He didn't catch yesterday. So, you pick your spots so you're not overwhelming him. But at the same time, he's got to go through these steps for the growth that we know he can handle.
All right, Matt, before we let you get out of here, what's the latest on Cole Reagans?
Cole played catch Sunday. He had Monday off from that, played catch yesterday. It was improved. So at some point this morning, he's back in Kansas City. So at some point this morning, he'll throw again. And we're just hopeful that each day gets better. And then hopefully we don't have a real timeline up, but he can get back up on the mound, because we do think the symptoms will resolve.
Awesome. Well, go get one today up in Chicago. Take care of business there, and then go crush the Cardinals for a couple of games, all right?
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Matt Quatraro with us here on 96.5 The Fan. 2 more in Chicago, then 3 in St. Louis before the boys in blue return home. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, I saw something on the internet that looked like the Zapruder film, but it is the greatest example of a pro coach leading his players. We'll tell you what that is next.
Hey, it's Matt Quatraro, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Guys, I'll tell you something. We got a big couple of weeks coming up. I've been talking about graduation parties for the last month because it seems like every weekend day we're at a graduation party, right? A lot going on. And also, we have Memorial Day coming up as well. And with those holidays and those parties and all of that going on, the last thing you want to do is worry about cooking, right? You want to take care of everything easily, and that's where Smokehouse Barbecue comes in. Whether you want to have your event at Smokehouse Barbecue, they've got a banquet room at every location that's capable of serving your big groups. Or if you want to have Smokehouse cater your event, they can do that as well. And also, too, when you're thinking about Smokehouse Barbecue, most people are thinking about their delicious burnt ends, their unbelievable baby back ribs. But here, I'm talking about the sides, because even if you're going to man your grill this summer, you need to cater the best sides in the world, and they come from Smokehouse Barbecue. Their cheesy corn, their hickory pit beans that cook under the brisket for the final few hours to give them the best flavor in the world, and of course those Cajun butter chicken wings that are so good with their homemade ranch dressing. Smokehouse Barbecue has something for everybody. All your catering can be ordered at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. Or just stop in and visit them at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. For over 35 years, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends at QC Kinetics want you to feel awesome this spring and summer. In fact, they want you to feel awesome for the rest of your life, and so do I. That's why I'm saying go see my friends at QC Kinetics right now, because they can help you feel better. You may have some joint pain, whether it's arthritis in your knee, your shoulder, your hip, or your back. QC Kinetics can handle that for you. They have people with the same conditions now moving, sleeping, golfing, running without surgery or long recoveries. The science is real, the treatments are natural, and your body already knows how to heal. QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. And we're doing all of this with no operating room, no hardware, and no watching summer go from a recliner. It's you getting back to the real version of you that doesn't map out a route based on where you can sit and take a break. So now let's get that free consultation at QC Kinetics. Better starts here. Call them today at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. The new year is here. Home values are up, and you have more home equity than ever. Now is the time to put that home equity to work for you. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Credit card balances are at an all-time high. Why pay 25 to 30% interest to them when you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call? Golden Oak's mortgage rate is 4.5%. We have no fee to apply and no out-of-pocket costs. And if you call today, you could make no payments for 2 months. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Imagine how good it will feel to have those bills paid off. At Golden Oak Lending, we can make that happen in as little as 14 days. And if for any reason your loan doesn't close, we will pay for your appraisal. Call today and take advantage of our 4.5% fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade. Dana Carvey. Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall. Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities. And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips. Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
You can listen to Burns on Deck Show starting 1 hour before first pitch for all 162 games this season on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app. Get ready for the game with Touch 'Em All and listen for your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock. We are in your car, we are on your phone, and we are free for every Royals game this season. Tune in to Burns on Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 78.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Couple of news and notes to pass along of things that are going on in sports that aren't necessarily a huge topic at this time, but most likely will be here in the future. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but The Athletic is now reporting that the Players Association and the owners had their first meeting. Kind of a groundwork, lay out the here's what we're looking for, here what you're looking for. Okay, F you, we'll see you later,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's good news they're talking, though. I mean, that is
good.
Great news, the fact that they are talking, because baseball is in such a golden spot right now. You'd hate to miss a year of Bobby Witt, of his playability, watching him go out there every single day, because these guys can't figure it out. So the good news is they've had their first meetings, or they're having their first meetings today or tomorrow. They're going to get, hopefully move this thing forward, and maybe we can get to some labor peace. There doesn't have to be a lockout. There doesn't have to be a work stoppage at all in all of this. Like, if we're all adults and we can just sit around and realize that this golden goose that we currently have right now is awesome, and we can't, risk getting rid of that golden goose, I'm going to tell you something, man. That's what gets deals done. People realizing what they have and how good it is. And for Major League Baseball right now, it's in an amazing spot from where it's ever been. Also, another kind of news and note to pass along, they're going to start to see more and more conversation about the NFL and switching the fields to grass fields over turf fields. The NFLPA right now is upset that every NFL stadium has gotten great green grass put in because of FIFA being here for the World Cup. And so maybe that will ultimately change the thinking of these NFL teams, and maybe we will see a return to grass fields everywhere to try to keep the health and safety of the players up to the level that it needs to be. Everybody knows that, these AstroTurf fields aren't good for you. They cause a lot of wear and tear and injury. I'm dealing it right now with my daughter in high school soccer. I mean, her calves are so tight because of playing on this AstroTurf. And so you're looking at NFL players, you're looking at baseball players, you're looking at the best athletes in the world. Why are we not allowing them to go out there and play on the best surfaces out there? So that's going to be one of those things that I think also gets a lot of conversation when you move forward and start to hear complaining about the NFLPA and complaining from, I should say, the NFLPA. All right, so leadership is a big thing for me. I've been able and been around a lot of good leaders in my career on the sports side of things, okay? I've seen the way Bill Self leads his program. I've been around Dick Vermeil and the way he led his program. I've seen the way Andy Reid leads his program. I've had the opportunity to be around a great leader who I think is one of the greatest leaders in sports of all time, and that's Dayton Moore. I get to watch him and the way that he leads it. He'll join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock here on the show. It's about leading people and making people the product, and buying in and pouring into people is something that Dayton always used to talk about when it came to leadership. And sometimes I think in sports, leadership is a lost art. It's not easy to be a leader. Sometimes you have to make decisions that aren't popular. Sometimes you have to do things maybe you don't like, but it's the right thing to do for the betterment of the group. It's not something that is for the faint of heart. And the best leaders get usually the best results out there on the field. And there's a Zapruder film going around of the Spurs landing back in San Antonio, and there's a man that meets the plane on the tarmac in his car. And this is the day when Wemby threw the elbow, which you keep watching that. Thank God they didn't suspend him, but that's the regular season he's suspended, right?
That was on purpose, yeah.
I mean, did you see his teammate in the background with the... Yes. Like, that
Dylan Harper was like, whoa.
Right. So the NBA rightfully not suspending him. Okay, I'm not in agreement of suspending him in the playoffs. I think that would have been a bad look for the league. This is where the money gets in over the sports side of things. The league would have suffered without Wemby being able to play. And then we saw what he did last night. He redeemed himself last night, right? And so ultimately what I see as this car pulls up to this plane and Wemby gets out, Greg Popovich emerges from this car.
Yeah.
Greg's not the coach anymore,
nope.
But he's the Don of the San Antonio Spurs.
Yes.
He's there at practices. He's on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
He is the de facto leader. He's a military guy as well. And so he obviously has good traits from leadership from being in the military. Wemby got off that plane. Pop got out of that car, and he confronted Wemby on the tarmac about what he did in that game with that elbow. And that is leadership.
Yep.
That is, I don't know what was said. I don't know what Pop did, but I guarantee you Wemby was scolded. I guarantee you Pop went out there and said, dude, you are an unbelievable talent. You did something like that. It's going to take away everything that you've accomplished over these last 2 years. It is going to wipe out everything that you've done. That elbow was wrong. That elbow was clearly intentional. And now you're going to have to suffer the consequences. And look, thank God the league didn't suspend him. You don't want to not see Wemby play.
It would have been
and then he
terrible.
went out there last night and had the best offensive performance since the three-point line was put in.
Yeah, you've said that. I don't know what you mean by that. I have to look that up.
It was in the ESPN article this morning.
Well, it couldn't have been him. He's 2 for 5, so it wasn't.
No,
him.
not shooting the three-point shot. His offensive numbers.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Got you.
His offensive numbers.
That makes more sense.
Here it is.
Yes.
The Frenchman, as they say, according to ESPN, delivered as the Spurs seized the 3-2 lead. Wemby became the first player in NBA postseason history to tally 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 three-pointers since the 1979-80 season when the three-point line was introduced.
Damn.
So he did something,
Yes.
not three-point shots, and I probably phrased that wrong.
I
but
get what you
since
mean
the-
now.
Since
Yes.
the three-point line has been put in, kind of like the merger in the NFL, I guess, maybe basketball they talk about, since the three-point line, since we lowered the mound in baseball, since we, did this, and since we had the shot clock in basketball, whatever it is, right? There's always something that you go back to and lean on. So since the three-point line was introduced in the 79-80 season, nobody has had this type of offensive performance. And so when Popovich goes out there and meets it, again, this is not an NBA topic. This is a leadership topic.
Yeah.
This is why Greg Popovich is one of the greatest head coaches in all of sports of all time, because he knew what to do in that moment. He knew that was a bad look for his young player. He knows he's not the coach, but he is the Don of the franchise. And if you pull up, that was as mafia as it gets from the movies
So
back in the
mafia.
day.
He gets out of the car. Wemby's already standing there, and it's just like, come here.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You need to know the magnitude of what you just did, because not only did they win the game, they beat you mentally.
Right.
And that's something that Wemby's always been so good at for a 21, 22-year-old, and he lost the mental battle that night. They got the best of him, and I think he let him know, hey, man, this is a long series. This is not over, and they're going to rag you and try and drag your ass down. You've got to be able, to stand up to it. He didn't stand up to it that night. He's done it now twice. He showed up there, as you mentioned, after that game. Then they win last night, and then he showed up after game 1 against Minnesota when they lost. He showed up, and he ran the whole film session, and they kicked their ass game 2.
Yeah.
So it's like he just kind of pops out of nowhere. It's like, all right,
No pun intended.
Let me yeah, it's good. Let me shed some wisdom real quick and then kind of go back into my corner.
Right.
Let me come out again. All right, you need me again? Okay.
But that's what it is.
It's amazing.
Hey, I'm out of the way. I don't care. But if you need me, give me a call, and I'll be there.
Yes. And I love that Mitch Johnson is that shows Mitch Johnson being a good leader, too, knowing that he's okay with that. You don't have to be. If you were the coach of the Spurs, it's Greg Popovich. But you know the way this works. Hey, it's my team now. I'm here. I get out of the way. And he's letting Popovich run the film session.
You know why? Because he's smart.
He's smart.
And you know what this reminds me of? This is Spoelstra and Pat Riley all over again.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great comp.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I like it. That's scary.
And find me another combination where you had a direct successor and that guy stayed on and the team still had success. It doesn't happen a lot. Usually, like, when Andy Reid goes, Andy Reid will go away. He will not be hanging around the organization.
Yeah.
Right? Things happen. People move on. You don't want guys usually hanging around the organization. Well, Greg Popovich wasn't ready to go. He wasn't ready to retire. Didn't need to retire. Health told him he had to retire. So you're this Mitch Johnson guy who nobody knows from Adam, right? Never heard of the guy.
Nope.
Nobody ever heard of Eric Spoelstra either. Remember when they hired Spo?
They're like, what?
Nobody knew who that
LeBron
guy
wanted
was.
him fired.
Nobody knew who that guy was. He's one of the best basketball coaches of all time.
Yep.
He's transcended generations now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that relationship now with Pop and with Mitch Johnson. Is that who it is?
Mitch
Not
Johnson.
Mick Johnson. Mitch Johnson. But that's how I look
Men's
at that,
wieners.
as opposed to, another one where a young coach comes in. That's a brilliant move by a young coach. And that's just not a coaching lesson. That's a life lesson, too. You can learn from the olds.
Yeah.
You don't have all the answers when you take over that job. And you took over for Greg Popovich.
For Greg freaking Popovich.
You didn't take over for who? That guy who coached one game with Cleveland and went back to Europe to coach David Blatt.
David Blatt.
It's like you didn't take over for that guy.
No.
You took over for Pop. and you've allowed Pop to stay involved. You've leaned on Pop. You've used him when you needed to use him. And if the Spurs go on and make the finals, I'm not talking about the Western Conference Finals, I'm talking about the NBA Finals, and they beat Oklahoma City, we're going back to that moment where Popovich meets Wemby on the tarmac.
Yeah.
And you're the bigger NBA fan than I am, obviously. How come we are not talking more about this nationally? Because that, to me, is one of the greatest leadership moments that I have ever seen out of a coach.
I think we're going to hear about it more today because of the performance last night. And so now that video will come out, performance happened, and now go, oh, so we'll connect the dots. Coming out, really going viral this morning. I think it'll become a story. I hope it will, because you're right, it should, because this is just adding on to Greg Popovich's legend. And I assume he's officially with I know he would get a ring, but I hope it would be official. Like, I hope
he's like the president.
He's on the books there. Like, he's still employed. Okay, good. Because even if he weren't, and that's just like the reason I have to ask is because he would still be there, even if he wasn't officially a part of the team. Like, he's going to be there forever because that organization is so great too. Mitch Johnson, that you said I don't know anything about him. Like, I don't know much about him either. He was with the Austin Spurs from 2016 to 2019, worked his way up as an assistant there to an assistant with the San Antonio Spurs in 2019.
It's Spoelstra and Riley.
I'm working on, I'm refining you, I'm pouring into you, and now you're ready, and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be here. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's how great organizations do it.
It is. It really is. That's what you want to do. You want to groom that next guy and make sure that he's ready to take over when you're a legend, right? That's what I'm doing with you. No, I'm kidding.
I'm okay with that.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you're a guy like Popovich and you know you've had this run of success, it's eventually going to come to an end. You're a team like the Spurs. You want to continue this run of success. How can we do this seamlessly and make this thing work? And being able to have him around is such a godsend for that head coach. I mean, that moment where he met Wemby on the tarmac, I'm looking at it, I'm going, I want to work for him.
Yeah.
And I covered Popovich for 2 years, and I regret every day of it because I didn't spend enough time. I was young. I was 22, 23 years old.
You didn't understand.
And it was also early in that Spurs run. It was their first year that they were good. And I was around Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Avery Johnson, and Greg Popovich. Maybe the four best that I've ever been around in anything, right? Popovich, Hall of Famer, and Avery Johnson was a stud when he played. Great leader. He was awesome. But I didn't appreciate it enough. I didn't sit there and listen enough. I was doing other things. I was 22 years old. Who's this guy? The Spurs aren't,
whatever.
You never. And so, like, if you talk about like career regrets, it's like, damn, I wish I would have known at that time who I was around all the time.
How special it was you were seeing was.
Yeah, how I was watching this because, again, it was a minor market basketball. Who knew that they were going to have this dynasty and
Tim
all
Duncan
this kind of stuff?
Yeah,
and it was unbelievable, man. Like, unbelievable.
So cool.
That to look back and go, damn, I wish I would have appreciated that moment more where I got the opportunity to see him. Go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say, to bring it back to Kansas City, and I know, again, we talked about it, we've had these examples. I assume in baseball there's probably a couple of these examples. I'd imagine we've named two in basketball. We could maybe come up with a third, but we've got two with Spoelstra and Riley, and now we're seeing in Wemby and possibly Mitch Johnson being the future coach there for a long time to come, only 39 years old. Can that happen with the Chiefs? Who's our guy under Andy Reid? We know Matt Nagy's gone.
Yeah, Matt's gone.
It's not Bieniemy.
It's not Bieniemy.
We love Bieniemy, and he's here for a reason. He's going to bring the accountability. Very important to this year.
But he's not the head coach.
He's not a head coach.
Not a head coach.
He's not
interviewed 19 times with one team twice.
And I've died on this hill. There could be reasons for it. I've gotten in many arguments about it. It is what it is. He's not a head coach.
Right.
And I was wrong on that. He's not. So is that something that can be done?
It was getting done. And then, like, It should have been turned over about 5 years ago. And then Brett found this guy in Texas, and Andy's like, I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, heck no. I'm glad he didn't.
Andy got, whoa, hell no. I'm not going anywhere. And so, Matt goes to Chicago, wins a couple of playoffs, gets in the playoffs a couple of times with Mitch Trubisky, comes back here, now he's running the Giants. And so, I don't know, Mac, who that guy is. We had that guy.
Is that possible, though, too, in football?
Has it ever happened in the NFL?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
Let's talk out loud real fast. Has it ever happened really in the NFL where you've had that seamless transition? I don't think it has.
What was the Bill Cowherd to Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin,
I know it was seamless, but
he wasn't an assistant with
Cowherd.
Cowher.
He wasn't under.
He was in Minnesota the year before. It wasn't like they were grooming him and they just nailed it. Like, they just nailed it. And that isn't easy to do either. That's not easy to do at all, is to, nail 3 straight head coaches in a row like that. I mean, that's just crazy. And who knows what they're going to do with Mike McCarthy up there in Pittsburgh. They may find a way to get back to a Super Bowl. Who knows if they do? It'd be remarkable to see something like that happen.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a real kind of changing of the guard where we're grooming this guy. It seemingly happens in college where they'll name a successor or a coach in waiting, and that cat usually never gets that job. Gets that job.
And if he does,
right?
it doesn't come to fruition. It doesn't equal wins. We're seeing that be a little different, I guess, over in Duke with Shire. I think his name is John Shire.
John Shire.
That's gone well so far.
That's gone well. Yeah, that's kind of a seamless transition there where they did that. Maybe we'll see it at KU eventually from Bill to Jock Vaughn.
That would be awesome.
That's my dream.
Sick.
I would love that. I think that would be outstanding. I'm not rushing Bill out the door at any point in time.
Take your time.
But if you want to do that transition and have, because people thought for years that may have been Danny Manning, right? And then Danny went and coached elsewhere and wasn't that great. And so, you move on and you find somebody else that you could potentially, turn it over to. But, yeah, I don't think in the NFL it's happened because you look at some of the best coaches in the NFL of all time. The Dolphins haven't been the same since Don Shula left. They really haven't. The Patriots...
Yeah, thought it was going somewhere. I don't know.
But that wasn't a seamless transition from Belichick to Vrabel. You had Gerard Mayo in there for a year.
Yeah, and that was, to your point, that was the successor. That was the guy in waiting. They hired him as an assistant, and they were like, hey, you're going to be our head coach.
Right.
You played here. You're going to learn under Bill, and then you're going to be the next guy. And it was bad. Now, they only gave him 1 year, but by all accounts,
Vrabel became available. Rossini told him that he was going to become available up there in New England.
Probably.
She called Kraft is like, hey, I'm hearing that Mike Vrabel may become available at the end of the season. Are you interested in him?
Mike's in the back. Yeah, Diana, also tell him this.
Tell him I like his hair.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like those shirts that he wears with the white collars that are so outdated. But tell him I like those. And tell him I thought it was cool that he went to Miami the night before the Chiefs game.
Exactly. Ugh. God.
Yeah. Get bent.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
So long story short, I don't know that there's ever been that seamless transition in the NFL.
Don't think it's happened.
Went from Coach A to Coach B. That Coach B was a direct descendant of Coach A. They tried it in San Francisco a little bit with George Seifert taking over for, Bill Walsh out there in those years, and he ended up winning a Super Bowl. He only lasted a couple of years and was ultimately fired, and then went to Carolina for a year or two, and then out of it. But you really don't. It's
doesn't
hard.
happen.
It's hard to do. I mean, we're trying to find an example in the NFL, but there's only the 2 basketball examples that I can
it really
think
doesn't
of.
happen in general. Yeah, you mentioned college basketball is more of an often thing, but again, that doesn't actually work. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole new shebang when Andy Reid's gone. It's not going to be, this guy, and then here's these assistants that we recognize.
It still could be Matt Nagy taking over. Who knows at this point in time? If the Giants go out there and they dominate on offense and Jackson Dart is the next Patrick Mahomes conversations type stuff, Matt will be back. But I don't know who, and I don't know when that is either. Or maybe Harbaugh retires before Reid and Matt gets that job at the Giants, and he doesn't want to come back to Kansas City. Who knows? But I don't know what the line of replacement is, and I don't want to worry about that.
No,
because
I don't
we're
either.
in a good spot right now.
Yes, let's make sure we stay in that good spot. This is a big year, but I agree. Good spot. Good spot.
LeBron, is close to retiring. We don't know, but his tenure in L.A., they won the bubble championship, and that was it. Missed the playoffs a couple of times. Kind of a failure out there in Los Angeles. You're kind of worried about if that happens to Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I guess it's crazy to say he won a ring in L.A., and we're asking if his tenure there was a success. People, we have a texter saying 3 championships and a bubble title in 25 years. That's a fail. 4 championships, widely regarded as the second best ever, one of the best athletes of all time. And it's a fail, and now that makes me think, damn, well, we're holding up Mahomes to that Tom Brady meter and to say, you got to keep up, you got to keep up. Well, what happens if in 4 or 5 years, he's 36 years old, he hasn't even been to another Super Bowl? Are we calling his whole career a failure?
No. I don't think that I don't think we're calling LeBron's career a failure. I think we're calling the LA experiment a failure. And that's completely different, right?
Totally.
His career, as we talked about earlier, his life, he's played in the NBA 23 years.
Awesome.
Only 18 years of his life has he not played in the NBA.
Badass.
Okay, it's insane. It's awesome. I love it. I think that's like the coolest stat I've heard in a long time. Right? Just
awesome.
Oh, that's cool. But his career has been unbelievable. He's the second best player next to Michael Jordan. His career will be looked at as a failure because he never won 6 championships like Michael Jordan. He's not a failure. We are. The way that we view LeBron James.
And sports,
right.
yes.
We
totally.
view LeBron James as a failure. He's not a failure at all. He's unbelievable what he did. But we look at it because we're comparing him to the greatest of all time. We're comparing him to Michael Jordan. So is his career a failure? Hell no. Was the LA experiment a failure? Yeah, I think it probably was. I think ultimately it was. I mean, you foisted your son on the team.
Yeah, that wasn't a great look. And even though some of that's been erroneously reported, in my opinion, like Bronny is an NBA player at some level, but yeah, the whole way it happened, it was not a good look, and he probably should have known that. He didn't really give a rip. He wanted to play with his son, and I kind of liked the flex. He got to do it. It was really cool.
I don't hate it either.
Like, he threw his son a lob in a playoff game, or his son threw him a lob in a playoff game. 20-year-old son threw his 41-year-old dad a lob in a it's pretty bad.
Awesome.
It's awesome. So
it is
cool flex. But yeah, I think if you told 2019 LeBron James, hey man, you're going to win a bubble ring, we'll tell you what that means in 7 years. Other than that, it's going to be widely regarded as fake and not really respected. And the rest of it, you're going to be first round exits, you're going to be swept, and you're going to miss the playoffs. What do you think? He'd be like, what?
Yeah, he was.
And you're going to have Luka Doncic for one of those years.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 2 years.
Two
of those years.
2 years.
Two
Two
of
playoffs
those,
anyway.
Yeah, two of those playoffs, and I know he was hurt this year, so fine. But still, you go, wait, what? That's what happened? Yeah, I think it sucks to say because I hate minimizing, even though it was a bubble title. But yeah, that's a fail.
Well, it's minimized, and the reason the other titles aren't minimized that year is because the NBA stopped down for 2 months. Everybody rested.
Totally. It's not that is not talked about. That's a good point.
You know, everybody was rested. And so they went and played this bubble game.
Fresh.
It was all fresh. And so it wasn't like these guys had the grueling regular season.
It's different.
They stopped it on March 15th or whatever it was and didn't pick it back up until like July.
And the fans make such a big difference.
Huge difference.
God, it's so fun in playoff games when someone hits a shot or you can feel the crowd getting into it when their team's down and all of a sudden they've scored 6 straight points. And you know what that feels like in an arena. It's like,
oh, hell yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And that one there. That one not there.
No, not there at all. And so you're hoping Patrick doesn't get to that level,
Nope.
I guess. You know,
Nope.
And I don't think he will. I don't think ultimately we'll look at Patrick Mahomes if he doesn't make the Super Bowl in the next 10 years and say his career is failure. We could look at the last 10 years and go, man, we didn't achieve what we wanted to. But overall, I mean, the guy's the Hall of Famer. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer regardless of what he does moving forward,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would. It would be tough to even if he doesn't win, it'd be tough to not put him on the Mount Rushmore when it's all said and done. Even now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coming up here on 96.5 The Fan, they're going to do a lot of traveling, man. A lot of traveling. We'll tell you who and when next.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends at Hy-Vee are ready for you now for the graduation parties. That's right. Let Hy-Vee do your catering for your grad parties this year because they're going to make it easy on you. And that's what we all want this time of year. I know everybody's busy doing so many different things. Hy-Vee is here to help. And that's why we trust Hy-Vee with everything. With all of our important celebrations, we're going to Hy-Vee. In fact, my wife just told me today it's National Tulip Day. Guess where I'm going afterward? You better believe it. The floral department at Hy-Vee. And at Hy-Vee, you can choose from a wide range of budget-friendly catering options like the classic grill out for just $7 per person or the High Chai Asian buffet for just $14 per person. And of course, don't forget about all those personalized bakery goods, party trays, like I mentioned, the floral arrangements, and so much more. So leave all the prep work and that messy cleanup to Hy-Vee. They'll take care of all of that stuff with their full-service catering for any size celebration. You can sit back and relax and watch your perfect graduation party take place. And you'll know you did it because of my friends only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball is underway. I know it. You know it. I've seen all your gorgeous pictures, and you know I'm referencing Surfside iced tea and vodka or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. They're smooth, and they're refreshing and perfectly made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy with 0 troubles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation.
We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Spring is showing up and showing out. Give your yard its own moment with limited time deals from Lowe's. Grab select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets, 2 for only $15. Plus, we've got Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for just $10. A little dirt, a little color, and we are so back. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid 5/7 through 5/13. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
This is Stories from the Pitch, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Hours before the final, the Brazilian team sheet went out without Ronaldo's name. Then a second sheet arrived with him on it. In the dressing room, the 21-year-old Ronaldo, the best player on earth, had suffered some kind of seizure or convulsion. Teammates carried him to a hospital. Test came back clear. Coach Mario Mario Zagallo, under pressure no one fully understood, started him. Ronaldo wandered the pitch like a ghost. France won 3-0. Zinedine Zidane scored 2 headers. Stade de France erupted. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened to Ronaldo that afternoon. Sponsors, doctors, conspiracies, every theory contested. The greatest striker of his generation, swallowed by something he couldn't name.
Stay tuned to this Odyssey station for more Stories from the Pitch.
All right. Back at it here. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty with you. Dusty off, Mac in. Coming up tomorrow, Dayton Moore will join us around 8 o'clock, I believe, is what time we're going to talk to the former general manager.
Sweet.
We are a week away from his charity golf tournament out at Top Golf for See You in the Major Leagues Foundation. Going to be a lot of fun. Dusty and I are going to go around and talk to everybody. We got some cool things that we're going to be doing at the See You in the Major Leagues golf tournament. If you want to sign up, go to seeyouinthemajorleagues.org. I think we have a day or two left. You can get out there and rent one for the Top Golf event next Thursday night to benefit the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation and the unbelievable work that they do. I mean, my wife is a mentor for Dayton's foundation, and I get to see it firsthand every single week about how they change the lives of kids in Kansas City, and they come alongside these kids and do just amazing things. And so all that money that we're going to raise stays right here in Kansas City. It helps these kids get the mentorship that they need, and it's an unbelievable program to see how they put this whole thing together, and they basically, get kids when they're a freshman in high school, get them all the way through their high school years, form these relationships with these kids, and give them an opportunity in life that I never had, and I'm so jealous of. I mean, it is just a remarkable program. See You in the Major Leagues, or maybe nothing better than that here in Kansas City for what they do for kids. We brought them under the BMA umbrella as well, so they're going to be participating in Dancing with the Stars this year in a couple of weeks. If you want to get a table for that, bmafoundation.org. Get your table now for that event coming up on June 5th. And so there's just so much going on that's good in Kansas City, and Dayton's always at the forefront of doing great things in Kansas City. So we'll talk to him tomorrow on the show. The Chiefs are not top on this list, which I'm glad. I'm glad we're in the middle of the pack. I'm glad we're average for the first time in a long time, Mac. I'm glad that the Chiefs are average.
And you're talking about air miles. Each team's going to have to travel this season. Schefter just came out with it. As we learn more about the schedule, we know our international complete slate. We can go through that later, maybe this segment. But the 49ers, dude, 38,000 miles traveled. For reference, number 2 is the Rams, 34. Number 3 is 28. So between number 1 and number 3, there is 10,000 miles of difference between the 49ers and the Houston Texans as far as miles traveled.
Just to put that into perspective for those who are rolling their eyes and saying these are pro athletes, it's basically 1,000 miles air from here to New York, a little bit like 1,100 miles.
There you go.
Do that 10 times.
10 more times.
10 more times.
It's a great way to think about it. Put it in perspective.
Seriously. Now,
yes.
I know you're not dealing with the security and all that, and they're very lucky they don't have, but still, you're still on a plane. You're still cramped. It's no better a plane than what we fly on. Everybody's back there in coach doing their thing. Maybe the linemen get the extra leg room rows or something like that.
So let's stick with that metric then. 1,000 miles New York, right? So I said 10,000 for Texans, 49ers. That's the gap between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
How about that? Texans at 3, 28,000. The Chiefs all the way down at 17 at 18,000. So another 10,000-mile gap between where the Chiefs are at 17 and number 3, the Texans. To put that in perspective, 20,000 less miles than the San Francisco 49ers have to travel.
And that's that Rio game, right? Isn't San Francisco, are they playing in the Rio game this year? They're playing in Australia. That's what it is.
That's why number 1 and number 2 are
so
the Rams and Niners.
Right. And so you look at the other ones, and you probably, you can subtract the Australia one. But even still, they're still traveling a very far distance. The Texans are still traveling a very far distance. It's really good, I think, that the Chiefs are kind of, in the middle of the pack on this one, because we were the ones. And I think it was you that kind of put it into perspective to me about why they deserve the home game. And, I wanted it to be in Denver because I want to win on the road on the opening week. I think that would be just special and spectacular. I understand why it's home. It's Arrowhead. It's Kansas City. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. It's the best environment in football. Let's go. But also, it's also good to keep these miles down for these guys who have had to be the guinea pig over these last 5 years and basically take one in the shorts for every single one-off that the NFL was trying to sell to a network or to a streamer, they made the Kansas City Chiefs participate in that. And so I think we're seeing the schedule maybe fall a little bit back in our favor. And I'm sure when it comes out tomorrow, we'll all look at it and go, damn, we got Christmas, we got Thanksgiving, we're going to have Valentine's Day and President's Day because we're going to the Super Bowl. So we're going to have all of that wrapped up and ready to go. So we're going to be playing on every damn holiday.
Every holiday. Yeah, I think they've got, I've got it bookmarked here. Let me just check here for you. I believe I do anyways. Yeah, here we go. NFL has Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday games during Christmas week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday games during Thanksgiving week. And then obviously they've got 3, 5, 7, 9 international games, some of which fall on weird times. Anthony Dabundo says, many will complain about this. Everyone will watch the games. But there is a breaking point, and the NFL is closer to that than it realizes.
It is. No, it absolutely is now. I am convinced now. Maybe a year ago I didn't think so, or 2 years ago. But as we continue to move forward and continue to see people now fighting with Congress about the television stuff with the NFL, right? Like the government is now getting involved. Florio's calling out the NFL for their 87% number. He goes, it's really not that. It's only 30% because you only really get one game. They're counting,
that's a good point.
They're saying, well, you get 4 games on CBS. Yeah, but I only get 1 in my market.
Exactly. So you can't say, very good point. So true. They skew that crap.
They do. And is it wrong? No. Is it right?
Yeah.
No. It's like statistics, right? You can find a stat and work it to however you want it to fit your narrative. And so that's what they're doing. So I think the NFL right now is under as much. And look, the networks aren't coming to the table to renegotiate with the league right now. The NFL wants to renegotiate, get more money. The network's like, we're not ready to go there quite yet. So they may have pushed it a little bit too far where people are like, all right, I'm tapped. But you know what? Then, Mac, the ratings come out, and you never see you never see the results that you expect from the complaining that you hear. And that's why I always say the complaining is the vocal minority. The people who complain are the small minority of people who take the time to complain, because it's when it's something you like, you don't complain about it. But when it's something you don't like, you do. You complain
about it. You make it everything, your personality almost.
Yeah, you do. And then it becomes a big deal, and it just fuels itself. And so until the people stop watching, the NFL is going to continue to do what they're doing. And judging by the numbers, nobody stopped watching this league, right?
Nope.
Cody and Gold are coming up. Alex is back from surgery.
There he is.
Yeah. And
he can smell.
He can smell again. He'll tell you what Cody smells like next.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr.